That's it. That's all I got. Hey, welcome everybody to Calling It Now. You're muted. Welcome everybody to Calling It Now. Sorry, I was up all night doing something awesome. I'll actually be showing it to you later.
Oh yeah.
Doing something literally awesome. I cannot fucking. All right, but also then you and I are both doing long days today. You did the show before. You're doing this show now. I'm doing the show after this show with Forrest, which could go on forever. Who knows? I mean, literally, the two of us. My God. Welcome everybody to Calling It Now. We are the foremost leftist live debate show in the world. Nobody beats us. It's the biggest. It's the best one. I'm just saying it. You're looking like
no. I'm trying to think of another leftist call-in show.
Yeah,
that's as big as like when me and you stream.
I mean, Sam Cedar takes calls, so but it's not.
Would you call Sam Cedar a leftist? I would call Sam Cedar a liberal.
Sam's not a liberal, is he?
Sam Cedar, socialist at the very least.
I mean, I don't know does he say the word? And he has my girl with him all the time. What's her name? I like her more than I like Sam. She's like the best part of that show. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't watch Sam Cedar. That's why I don't know if he's.
Well, I know he's Medicare for all. I know he's super anti-Zionist, despite being a Jew. So he is the one who people like to like. That's a rough spot to be an Emma. Emma's the best.
Come on now.
Yeah. But being like very, it is harder to be a Jewish anti-Zionist than I think any other type of anti-Zionism. I think it puts you in certain, which obviously there's a lot of Jewish anti-Zionists, but they're not all outspoken, and he is like loudly outspoken. Emma's the shit. She started appearing on CNN. Where y'all in the chat who probably watch a lot more than I do, where do y'all put him? He's definitely no fan of capitalism.
But is he not a fan of the capitalism in the way liberals are, where they're just like, we just need to reform capitalism. It's just, if we could just fix the problems.
Sam seems
I would say
radical.
if you want to be considered a leftist, I think you have to be staunchly for the abolition of capitalism.
I'm just going to ask, is Sam Cedar a leftist / socialist? I definitely think he's left of Bernie. Let's start there. Left of Bernie. Who else could we anchor to? Is AOC, in your opinion, left of Bernie?
No.
They're like pretty much on the same spot.
No, I would call AOC a liberal.
Well,
I'd call Bernie a liberal.
I'd call them both sock dems. I wouldn't call them.
I would call every sock dem a liberal.
Sam is a sock dem. He is leftist. He is lib. Socialist, as far as I know. Man, it's a whole load. No, Sam Cedar isn't Bernie level. He's definitely left of Bernie. Media analyst, left progressive. In the segment where he takes a socialist test, he explicitly says he does not generally consider him a socialist when asked directly. All right, well, how long ago was
Sam
that?
Sam is like pre-neoliberalism Democrats.
Ew, you want to see Kyle Kalinske come? What the fuck? Someone said, I love Kyle Kalinske's content. I would love to see him come. I like Kyle's takes. I find Kyle unable to stand up to. I'm glad he doesn't debate. Just like he always lets down. He always lets down when there's a challenge or something that he isn't well versed on. But him and I agree on most stuff. I think I'll always harbor a resentment of him capitulating to Joe Rogan. He used to go on Rogan. I know people are like, he hates Rogan now, but when he didn't hate Rogan, Rogan was already a very openly transphobic. And I'll always have a bitterness toward him saying cisgender, Joe Rogan saying, don't give that word power. And Kyle just being like, K, and then never using it for the rest. It doesn't like push back, doesn't debate, doesn't anything. He just let Joe Rogan kind of run. It's not like Joe Rogan has a history of kicking people off his show if they are like, shut the fuck up. That's dumb.
Truthfully, my favorite, like if we're talking Sam Cedar, my favorite thing Sam Cedar's ever done is be on Bob's Burgers. So
Was he really? That's funny.
Yeah, he's literally first episode. His character is the first episode.
Which character was he in the first episode?
He's the health inspector. He's Hugo.
Oh, and is he Hugo?
Yeah, Hugo, the health inspector.
Is he Hugo after that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
He's been Hugo since the show aired.
That's crazy. Wait,
what's our number again?
336-543-2101. 336-543-2101.
Keeping Jimmy on his host duty status.
Yeah, I gotta be able to switch off of that too. Let's see. We've got.
Wait till ask Forrest about the call me and him had yesterday. when you see him later.
Based on what we know now, also anytime you put anybody who's intellectually competent in front of Jordan Peterson, Jordan Peterson ends up beating himself. Someone said Kyle killed Jordan. Maybe he did. Matt also beat him in debate, but it's one of those things where most
people can beat.
Matt beat him in debate, but the same people who always love Jordan think he didn't. It was a big moment for a lot of atheists to go, oh shit, he says the same stupid shit about atheism too. Now I have to evaluate him using that for his other shit. But literally, based on what we know now about fucking, dude, I got to stop taking my victory laps, but I feel so vindicated because I've been saying for years that, that Jordan Peterson didn't just go right. He went crazy. Like you can look at his old stuff that there was a level of mental illness deterioration.
Are you talking before or after the lobster shit?
I'm saying probably around the time. Well, now we know it was a slow bleed, but when he explodes into, there is a Jordan Peterson who appeals to a lot of like cliches and shit pre that. Even his book, like How to Be a Productive Person, there's a lot of silliness in it, but it's not crazy. I'm saying he went crazy. And now we know he actually went crazy, that he has been in the reason you haven't seen him in forever is he's been in medical care essentially. Let's also change the debate to
I just lost.
Yeah, I see that.
Input. What the hell?
Trump's let's change trans good to no gods.
Oh, do we have a
God?
Oh, okay, I see Trump's good. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, just change. That was the one we had with Lux. Just like Trump bad, no gods.
I have on my side, I have God is real, or convince us, sorry. Let me be careful. Convince us God is real, Christianity is true, capitalism is good, and that MAGA is educated.
Mash, go ahead and this president, Jimmy, you and millions suspected he was insane. You aren't some super genius. Source that shit. Because I literally, yes, people were like, wow, this man is crazy. That wasn't the thing I said. I said there was a way he was before, and then something has happened, and he has been like, he's been for the last several months. He has basically had decades of toxic black mold exposure, and it like hit severe neurological issues in the last year.
That's the same thing I think happened to fucking J.K. Rowling. You ever see that picture she posted where it's like very clearly a big massive mold behind her?
Yeah, but JK, I don't know. I don't think we'll find out the same thing. Yes, I have seen that one. But I think transphobia also just rots the average person's brain. JK Rowling has the average went crazy rotted brain thing. Did I once say it was the mold, that it was mold before everybody else, that he seems like somebody who's been exposed to mold? You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I did.
I think Jordan Peterson this has been my stance on him since day one. I think he can pass a class very well. I think he might study very well, and that's could, yes. But this is pre-mold. I think he could study really well. I think he had trouble formulating his own set of ideas from the shit he read. Again, half of what he brought to the table was like half of his theories in his early career was about a fake study on lobsters. Right. And people don't talk about the lobster thing enough. And I'm like, why don't, frankly, like, he based so much of his early career on the fucking lobster shit.
Well, lobster God, when he comes knocking, look, there's like an actual acute level something happened, and it was literally like I don't know. It was just it was just wild. So yeah, I'm saying there's a difference. Conservative non-believer, disagree with us and you're crazy. I'm literally explaining. But this is as honest as when you called in and then spent days melting down about it. Literally, I am saying what happened to Jordan Peterson was beyond disagreeing with us. I just said I don't think J.K. Rowling went crazy. I think transphobia rots your brain. But she didn't literally go crazy. Jordan Peterson did, and now we know that appears to be true. Literally appears to be true that his brain, he clearly was at one point a competent at his job once upon a time, and he's even lost that. And then his whole shit, I am 0% a Destiny fan. I mean, I'm pretty consistent on my Zionism thing, but I think about that clip a lot where he's like talking to Destiny and he says like, truth is something that you'll stake or believe is accepting something you'd stake your life on, that you would die before you deny. And he's like, dude, no, you don't believe that. You wouldn't die if I said this pen doesn't exist. And he goes, don't be so sure. I was like, fucking
no, but that's the shit that always gets me with people like Jordan Peterson. It's the same with him. Same shit. Reason I can't stand Andrew Wilson's bitch ass. I don't want to. What is the point of debating if you won't debate your own belief system? Like, it's so stupid.
Do Andrew Wilson's ugly smile.
It's I mean,
it's Joker level.
You can't open a pickle jar, bro. Don't talk.
You got it all sweaty. I can't grip it. Shut the fuck up. Has Your Own Travel come up yet? Yeah, Your Own Travel is allegedly doing a debate with us at the end of the month. I just sent him like the format we were going to do. And at first, all he's replied, he changed it. It's town hall style. He said family style. And then he wrote, or you'll manipulate. And that's the last thing he wrote. I was literally like, this so reminds me. In fact, I'm going to get this on the record here. Based on like all of the ways our first conversation in DMs went and this one, it reminds me exactly of Donald Trump having zero evidence that there was any voter fraud going on and saying in advance that there's going to be voter fraud. It's giving me that vibe of like, if I lose this debate, I'm going to claim it was rigged, is the vibe I'm getting from Euro and Travel right now. I'm going to be like, look, I can, and I said I was expecting them to rig it. And so they rigged it. They're a bunch of rigging people. I was going to say that different. And then I heard
You were going to call them riggers, weren't you?
I was. And then I heard it in my mind and I went, nope, I'm not doing that. I think about you yelling the Arthur quote like twice a week right now.
He's a dinner!
I don't know why it's in my brain a lot.
Such a fucking funny moment. Also,
what did you say?
Were you trying to say something to me earlier?
Oh, no. We'll start taking these calls here in just a second. What were you going to say, Jovan? Then we'll get on to calls.
I was playing Pocopia during the whole stream with Matt, and then my computer glitched out, and now I can't get the capture card that has my Switch on it to fucking
that sucks.
Let me play Pocopia right now.
I mean, if it was dedicated into a monitor, you could just hook the monitor directly to the...
No, I have it feeding, so when I want to stream.
Yeah, I just meant for the moment, if you want. This monitor is both connected to a capture card for when I want to do it, and is also connected directly to, or has an HDMI that I can just directly quick pop into whatever I need.
I'm just going to put this monitor up from now on, so that way I can mess with my Switch while the monitor is up. That's so much more convenient.
Man, I don't know which one I want the most. Probably line 4 there. Line 4 dash.
Can we line 1 should be super quick. Can we just knock out our line 2? Can we just knock out line 2? That should take like 2 seconds.
Yeah. All right. Ray in Georgia, they, them, pronouns. Ray, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan.
Hi, guys. Sorry in advance. I'm a little bit nervous. I had a question about, so I kind of binge watch your guys' stuff a lot, especially Jovan's debates. And I've heard Jovan bring up this thing about like, people will call in and be like, oh, the reason that like African American communities have so much like crime and stuff in them is because of the lower marriage rates, and assuming that means also like lower rates of like consistent, stable like relationship partnerships for parents. And I'm writing an essay right now, and I'm trying to like find a source that says specifically like where that comes from, and I can't find anything.
It's not the marriage rates. It's the single mother rates. They claim that the rate of single mothers leads to an increase without acknowledging. And if you want the report on it, it's from the CDC, that Black fathers are more likely to be involved in their child's lives than any other racial group. So yeah, but they try to claim because there are a high rate of single mothers in Black community that leads to high crime rates because there's no like father in the home, which is just ridiculous and ignores the fact that it's poverty driven.
Okay, got it. So the first one that I'm seeing is the unmarried mothers stats of the states. Is that the one?
Yeah, any single mother rate is going to be what they're quoting essentially.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. That's literally it.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry. All right. Y'all have a nice day.
By me.
Thanks, Ray.
Bye-bye.
Man,
yeah, I figured that would be quick.
I'm gonna
now you're trying to figure out which one for? Oh, got it.
Yeah. Corey in South Carolina. Corey, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. Corey, pronouns he, him. How old are you?
I am 28.
28 years old. So that means you have been eligible for at least the last 2 elections, possibly even 3. How did you vote in the last 2 elections, or 3 if you were able to vote in all 3 of them?
I voted for Biden my first time, and then I voted for Trump.
Biden, then Trump. Okay. All right. And that's all the questions I have. What point were you calling to make?
Okay, so now when I look at when I look at the landscape and how I vote, I see Democrats being more aggressive when it comes to what views they hold, and it doesn't lead much into disagreement or boundaries where they're willing to give up something or negotiate in any way, shape, or form.
God, I wish that was true. You're
I'm
so not
by that.
telling the truth, because I'm a leftist. I'm not a Democrat. I think the Democrats are basically Republicans with a different shirt. I wish what you were saying was true. What issue do you see the Democrats taking a hard line on that they're not willing to negotiate on?
Well, it's like, I would say this, like the border issue. Right now, they used to deport people and not have a problem with deportations. It was even emphasized over and over
like
again.
Under Biden,
hey,
you mean like under Biden
Right.
they had that? That's how they felt? That's why Biden actually deported more people than Trump?
Yes. So I can disagree with like how Trump is deporting, but now it's becoming echoing like, hey, we don't want no deportations ever.
No, it isn't.
We won't.
What Democratic representative, because we're not talking about the voting base, we're talking about the representatives. What representative has said to cancel deportations?
I'm open borders. I'm not even against all deportations.
Well, not really the representatives. Like you said, it's the base that's saying it, but there's no Democratic senators in both ways really supporting it or even.
No, you're not.
About.
Corey, this is, you've either consumed right-wing propaganda and are repeating them, or you're making stuff up based on what bots fed you on social media. There are no Democrats who want 0 deportations. That just simply isn't true. There aren't even leftists who really want 0 deportations. If a person comes into the country and murders, like open border policy usually is, you get vetted at the border. It's not actually fully open. And if you haven't committed a violent felony or sexual crime, or basically there's a list of things, then you get in the country. And presumably if a person came in the country, snuck in, and because they violated those, you'd probably return them or you'd imprison them.
Right.
So there isn't even open border. What you're describing doesn't exist. There is not a person who has said absolutely no deportations ever. Right now, the problem is they have quotas, so they are deporting just like workers and families after promising they were going to go after only the worst of the worst and prioritize only the worst of the worst. Meanwhile, they went to Minnesota and didn't deport the worst of the worst. They just deported like families and people walking on the street who looked illegal.
Like it just, one thing that's weird to me right now, Corey, is you voted for Biden. So it seems like you prefer left-leaning or at least, you know, more left than right-leaning political things. But like, so in order to get that, you voted for someone that wants the complete opposite of that?
Well, I look at it per perspective that at least they're willing to engage on certain topics, even if they don't agree with it.
Democrats are the ones who tried to pass a border bill under Biden, and the Republicans are the ones that denied it. Dems tried to literally pass a bill that expanded funding for border security.
Written by a conservative, by the way.
That's what I'm so confused about.
Where are you getting this information? Because if my summary is even Democrats, again, who are not left enough for me, they aren't really left for me. Democrats' position seems to be no deportations without due process. And Trump seems to be deport first, bring back the citizens we actually deport later, or just leave them. They see the Democrats are against the concentration camps, mostly, some of them, not all. Republicans are for the concentration camps. They built them. Republicans in Utah, in Salt Lake City, just saw this on Reddit the other day. Salt Lake City said they don't have the infrastructure to be able to support homeless people there. So they closed the largest homeless shelter for the state in Salt Lake City. And then this week announced these giant warehouses that they're going to be using for ICE.
Yeah,
CRISPR, you are entirely incorrect that if you get screened, it's not an open border. That you don't know what, just to the person in the live chat, you don't know what open borders means then.
But what I'm seeing is more like the general population, not really the senators. They're not backing anything that could be useful or good for deportations. So, like, the self-deportations is a good idea, regardless of political...
Okay, so, Corey, where would you like to put the goalpost next? Are you going to go ahead and concede that you are wrong on everything you have said so far before now we debate the issue of self-deportations? Because, Corey, you are already assuming, Corey, that everybody who is here undocumented should leave the country, that deportation of any kind is good. So that's where we'll have to go there in a moment. But first, Corey, are you willing to admit you are wrong about saying that the Democrats want no deportations when in fact they have campaigned for massive deportation?
I can say that.
Okay. So far you didn't know. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I was just saying it's more of what I see from the party itself and what actions they're actually taking and what they're approving and what they're not.
Jovan just walked you through an action they took.
But also, like, what is the party? The party would be not we're not. We're and Jimmy aren't Democrats, but even if we were, we're not the party. We're the voting base. The party is the DNC. Right.
Corey, they literally tried to pass the most right-leaning immigration package under Joe Biden. Donald Trump stopped it. It was on track to pass. He had Mike Johnson and a bunch of other people down in Mar-a-Lago and essentially told them, if you pass this, I won't be able to run on immigration. So don't pass it. Don't give him this. And then went out and was like, oh, it's the worst deal, terrible deal, blah, 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 blah. Basically shitting on the MAGA guy who wrote the bill, along with Kirsten Sinema and was Manchin the other one? Because they tried to pretend it was bipartisan, even though it was basically a bunch of righties. Donald, so if you're saying like your assessment is the Democrats tried to pass a super, I'm glad it didn't pass because it was far too cruel. That bill fucking sucked. But the reason why Trump stopped it was so Republicans could run on it and then try and do something similar without congressional approval, not because he recognized the cruelty and recognizes that undocumented immigrants, the number one thing we should do is document them and make them legal immigrants.
Well, can you leave a link or something so I can actually look that information up? All right.
We're on a phone call. Just Google or go to, I'm sure you use Grok, ask Grok about the bill that the immigration bill Joe Biden tried to pass in 2024.
I'm
It's the Manafort bill, right?
Talking about.
Yes.
What?
It's the Manafort bill.
Oh. I'll look into that. But what I'm looking into is just how I've been personally treated when it comes to having these discussions and how openly that it is with a Republican over a Democrat when it comes to talking about personal issues or beliefs.
So you're saying you don't vote on the issues like you tried to introduce initially. You vote on based on how people make you feel when you express disagreement, and you choose the team you want to be on for the better vibes and not what the actual better policy is.
No, it's about policy too, but it also is about how it's spoken. If I disagree with you,
it should only be about policy.
Maybe we can. When I disagree with you, right? If we can go back through it and talk about it later, and maybe I was right about some things, and maybe I'm not right on other things.
Well, all right, let's present. Why don't you start with? Okay, cool. Let's start with something you're actually right about then, because so far you've only been wrong. Give me a political view you have that's correct.
Well, there's some things that I would say I hold more left-leaning when it comes to the stuff that I agree with. Like I'm advocate of trans rights and stuff, so I don't like the misunderstanding that the right has on that.
But how do you feel? How do you feel that you voted for someone who is literally trying to just essentially fuck trans people over more than like any other group? Like Trump's trying to add into the Save America Act, he's trying to add trans healthcare restrictions into that bill.
Do you know what the Save Act is?
Yeah,
Corey, give me a summary of what it would do.
Dangerous. It would make trans people and
no, what's the purpose? What's the overall purpose? It's mostly nothing to do with trans. He's trying to wedge that in. What's its main purpose?
It's to basically control voters.
Federalize the elections.
To vote.
Do you believe in the Constitution?
Yes.
Do you believe that would be a violation of the Constitution?
Yes.
What part of the Constitution would it violate? Did you hear me?
It would violate the First Amendment?
No. I mean, you're kind of saying more on like a level of like if it's harder to vote, you're not getting your chance to vote. But do you know about Article 1? Do you know what in Article 1 it says about elections specifically?
Under Article 1, I don't got my computer up, so I'm not like super politically savvy.
Yeah.
So,
So
I'm just
Article 1,
mostly
and
talking
I'm
about
not looking for,
general.
just tell me when you don't know. It'll be faster to just tell you. Okay. So
Okay.
Article 1, it's Section 4, basically guarantees that states have the rights to run the elections that they want to. There are certain rules that can be changed specifically for federal seats by the Congress, but Article 1 guarantees that the states get to run their elections. So one of the things that Donald Trump is including in this is essentially trying to make it so you can't use mail-in voting, which several states now rely on basically entirely, Colorado being one. Been audited time after time. It gets more people to vote. It is very safe to vote. It can be done super well. Wouldn't that be a violation of the Constitution to stop allowing the state to do mail-in voting?
I would say yes.
Okay. Do you know about the Emoluments Clause?
I'm not really too politically savvy. I'm just talking
Okay.
about in general.
It's also in
Sorry.
Article 1, and it basically says that you aren't allowed to use the presidency to profit. You can't make money as the president, especially from foreign entities, without Congress's consent. So Donald Trump accepted a jet. In his first term, he doubled his net worth. In his second term, he has already doubled it again in only the first year. So would you say that based on that info, and you're welcome to fact check it, if what I told you is true, he's also violating the Emoluments Clause?
Gotcha. Well, I think we should
Is that true?
follow the Constitution.
Right. Okay. So you should follow the Constitution.
Yeah.
And then we already talked about immigration, where Donald Trump is violating the constitutional guarantee of due process. So we've established 3 places where Donald Trump is violating the Constitution and setting new norms and new precedents. And you're saying, because of the way people talk to you and whether or not they're willing to admit you were right on something in the past, you're still going to vote for the Republicans, even as they seek to wipe their ass with the good parts of the Constitution. Because somebody made you feel bad? You don't have values then. You have teams.
Well, no, but I see your point, and I think I might be hitting a little too hard about like going back, and I'm probably putting more emphasis on like, hey, things that I agree with and maybe things that I disagree with, that the people that I'm having the conversation with are more than the actual policy and their effects. I'm probably thinking more of that. Are we on the same page?
I think you should only care about the policies and the Constitution. So far, you gave us a policy. You told us what it was on immigration. You didn't know what it was. You say you care about trans people, but you have been voting for essentially their genocide because they want to eradicate transgender people from public view and public life. So,
Yeah.
like I said, you don't have values.
I do have values. I don't want to cause
They're
harm.
all self-centered.
Well, it's not self-centered. I don't want to cause harm. I'm not.
Then stop voting
maybe you
Republican.
I don't
agree.
understand. How can you say that though? Like how? Like I'm genuinely, Corey. I'm so confused. How you can be like, I'm not trying to cause harm, but I am going to vote for the people whose policies and bills have directly led to more harm.
Because if,
Like,
let's say I didn't know certain things like that, would I be held accountable for that?
Yeah.
Would you said I will be
Who's
causing
responsible
harm,
for
even
finding
though-
out what the policy differences are?
yeah, I would just call you.
Well,
I would call you uneducated.
But you're saying you're politically active and you have values, but you're the one saying you didn't know these things. Why didn't you find those things out?
Well, there's some things I do know about.
Okay,
Well, I
give us one of the
can't
things you
have
do know
a-
that make it obvious that the Republicans are better.
For certain issues at a certain point in time, I can be wrong in certain
Yes.
circumstances, but I generally try to do the best for what I believe is right.
But you said that you would vote to the screener. You told that you would still be voting Republican because you have no other choice. That with Dems, you have to line up with every issue and there's no nuance. And then the first issue you gave for Democrats, two not Democrats. I primary Democrat because I don't have a better choice, except for when there actually is a leftist candidate, in which case I primary for the leftist, who is usually also running as a Democrat, because that's the two-party system. But I'm not a Democrat. They're capitalist shills. They're fucking gross. They serve the oligarchy. The only thing worse than them is the Republicans. Like as far as our two-party system goes. So I minimize the harm I'm doing while trying to work on a foundation that has the potential for progress in the future while using competitive campaigns to pull those Democrats to the left. That was the appeal of Biden in 2020, post Bernie. Bernie pulled that dude further, and he ended up governing further to the left than it looked like he was going to originally. And that's why Kamala Harris was so unappealing, because we didn't have a challenge like that to point to, and she pulled to the right.
Right. So what is your opinion when you look at Kamala Harris? And that
she was a clearly better option than Donald Trump and doesn't want to genocide trans people.
If you're just a regular person, just someone who's just watches TV, and then you're asked the question, what is your economic change to the economy when you see gas high at 3 to 4, 360, and the only thing you get, I don't know. What is your opinion? What do you expect your average Joe to look at that and say when that's the only source that they saw?
Corey, I want them to look at it and go, well, I think the Republican, why is it that you think you have to align with everything the Democrats say, but you don't have to align with everything the Republicans say?
I try not to, and I was able to have conversations, and they can literally bash Trump right in front of my eyes, but I can't do that for the left.
What are you talking about? Me and Jimmy bash leftist candidates constantly.
Literally, it's like our favorite thing.
But y'all are the minority, not the...
Oh, I wouldn't agree with that.
First of all, if you bash Donald Trump, he might use the government to get you fired. Right now, if you go and say anything like, if you cross a certain line over there and don't show support, Twitter has an entire database of users who will find you, dox you, and try to get you fired. Like the Republicans are trying to come from online social life into your fucking workplace and get you fired after complaining years and years about supposed cancel culture and then apparently deciding they were going to go pro on it. Again, they don't have values, they have teams. They were never against cancel culture. They were against cancel culture that points at them. And then they have made it so much worse. So first of all, I don't know what this whole thing is like. Republicans accept you for who you are. Go into the average Republican space and just be like, you know what? I don't really care that Charlie Kirk died. It is what it is. It's kind of like happens to public figures. I don't know. He did a lot of harm. It's not all that surprising, and it just doesn't affect my life. They will destroy your fucking life for that level. So I don't know what this whole like the Republicans are accepting and the Democrats will just destroy you. But also literally Democrats love to fucking complain. Who is it you think is the golden child of Democrats that you're not allowed to criticize? I dare you to say Gavin Newsom.
No, but that point what you said with Charlie Kirk is one thing that I could never see. I can never see having somebody die. I could never say those words like you just said.
Great.
About someone just dying regardless of the harm that they did. So there's
Great.
just some lines that I'm
Who cares? Wait,
what?
so great, Corey, this isn't an important point. It was literally that whether you can say that or not, does not undermine the point of what the right will do to you if you don't sufficiently virtue signal how devastated you were about Charlie Kirk's death.
I would just say I haven't seen that personally. I have here. Yeah, I really haven't seen that.
They literally created a whole website to keep track of the people so they could try and follow up with them when they get new jobs. So Again, what you haven't heard is because clearly you are filtering yourself through shit like Fox News or something. You're consuming right-wing personalities and just believing what they tell you no matter what, not asking for sources, not checking up.
Well, I am looking for sources. If you got some, that'd be great. I would look at
What would you like a
those.
source on? We already told you how to find the immigration bill. What would you like a source
y'all
on?
getting y'all's news sources and where y'all recommend to look at when it comes to those sources?
I don't trust any news source to tell me what my opinions are, so I consume a wide variety of them, most of which I have cultivated through following specific places on Reddit. I also have a subscription to Ground News. I check Fox News's website a couple times a week. I check CNN so I know what the right are doing because, again, both of those are right-wing publications. I check New York Times. It is literally like there are so many places that you can go and consume the news. Ground News will show you what a variety of outlets are reporting, though they use the right versus left meter to mean Republicans versus Democrats. So Ground News is unfortunately the best bad option we have. They reached out to ask if I wanted to be if they wanted a sponsorship. I have to meet with them. So I said, no, I would be okay with an affiliate program. I'm okay promoting you guys and getting paid to tell people that you are the least bad option, but still a bad option.
Well, I agree with okay. So I'm going to thank you for that, for giving me some information to go look at and find sources.
What were you looking at before, Corey?
I tried to use different sources. I tried my best to use.
How active are you on Twitter?
No, it's not on Twitter. I didn't trust the news because I knew like Fox News and NBC are kind of biased to their parties. So I was more looking at sources like on YouTube from different creators.
So name some creators you're consuming.
I don't really have too many left-leaning. That might be my problem with left-leaning, other than watching y'all show on the line. And that's almost it. But there's a lot of right-wing commentators, and I do get on Discord talking to left and right people.
So what's one of the YouTubers? Did you say it? I feel like I had a stroke because I think you weren't answering the question. What are the names of the news YouTubers you follow?
One Sky News.
From England.
That's only one news. And then that's the news source. The rest, I think that's the only one. The rest are just random YouTubers that have a political opinion.
Hey, who are those YouTubers? That's what I'm asking you. I'm trying to get an idea of what you're talking about. All right, you tell me if you watch any of these channels. Somebody just made me a list. I'm going to steal theirs. Thank you, Calibrin. Tell me if you watch this YouTuber, Matt Walsh.
No.
Ben Shapiro.
No.
Sean Hannity.
No.
Tucker Carlson.
I used to.
And now here's the one we were all waiting for, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, yes, I have watched a couple.
I already knew that. Just a couple. So who are the YouTubers then that you're talking about? Do you watch Philip DeFranco?
What is it?
Philip DeFranco?
I think that's one. But he's kind of...
Well, Corey, I think we're going to move on to another call because I don't even know. I just realized, what the fuck are we even doing here? Corey, it is on you to find out what the actual policies you're voting for are, literally nobody else. And to go, what do you think when an average guy hears what? You won't tell us where you're hearing it from, just these broad things of like, oh, on Discord, on places where I don't even know if any of these humans are real or if they are Russian propaganda bots, GOP propaganda. You don't literally know. Bruh, it's up to you. Go read a platform, okay?
All right.
All right. See you, Corey. Bro, I cannot. Are you up late tonight? Probably not. I'll have to show you tomorrow. I'm so excited to show you this thing I built last night. I'm legitimately, when I tell you I've thought of a new debate thing that I think is such a good idea. You know, I hate Jubilee, but like, I hate Jubilee for their philosophy around who they will have on and what they think makes good pairings, not their ability to find a gimmick. I think I have come up with a gimmick so good, it will eventually warrant its own channel.
Is this similar to what you told me the other day with
no,
a future
Duologues,
debate we're going to have?
Duologues is already out there in the ether, and we're finally doing that. Duologues is cool, the town hall debate. I'm saying this thing has a gimmick to it that's so good, I think it'll warrant having its own channel that could potentially outperform all existing line IP. That's how good I think this thing is. I'm going to show it to you, and I think you're going to be like, fuck this. I'm not going to tell you you cooked, but you cooked. Bro, I cooked. Okay.
All right, well, we'll see.
Let's do, well, I know who I'm going to do next because I have no rush to get to. Is that who I think that is? Yeah, it's got to be.
It's you know who. It's the always, every day. Sir, excuse me, sir.
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 We'll get there. First, we're going to Wyoming, my old stomping grounds, to talk to Kelland in Wyoming, who has some beliefs about God. So, Kelland, you're, first of all, pronouns he, him, you're a theist. What kind of theist would you describe yourself as? Do you associate with any existing religious traditions?
Yeah, I kind of align with the Hindu belief of the Brahmin, the soul, you know, the eternal soul
okay.
of awareness.
Why?
You know.
So you believe that like literally an eternal soul exists?
Well, it's more of like the eternal moment. You know, like every moment is like eternal, and like the soul can
just answer the question. Let's not convolute it. When you die, do you believe you will still exist in a conscious form that continues your existence in a satisfying way?
I honestly don't know. I could wake up and it could be a dream that I had previously or something else. I don't know.
Could you?
Why do you think that would be you in the divine realm?
What do you mean the divine realm?
I mean that's what you told the screener, is that you can transcend into the divine realm. So how do we get there?
Well,
like how do we access the divine realm?
It's a very slow process that like certain patterns you can use to kind of evolve yourself in that direction. Like forbearance is
Have you completed this process at all?
It's not like a process you complete. It's like an ongoing process that you.
How do you know then what's at the end of the process?
Well, it's just like I guess just through patterns, you know.
What patterns? Can you do me a favor? The next answer, can it not be vague?
What do you mean vague? Like
it's just like patterns is a vague answer. Like, what does that mean? Like,
it's just like refining the self and the community and the world all.
What does that mean? Refining the self.
The environment.
Also, what do you mean?
What does that mean? It means what it means. Like I guess like
Am I high? Did I snort a big fucking mountain of cocaine before this call?
So in certain traditions, it's I guess it's to be fruitful and multiply, man. That's where it comes down to. And it's
so the thing that gets you into the divine is fucking and having a bunch of kids. That's what gets you into the divine realm. Well, it's just slanging dick around gets you into the divine realm.
For sure. Gotta be careful, man.
Bro, how much pot did you smoke before this call?
We're not gonna tell. Question. We know you crossed that Colorado border. I know what you're doing. You go down, you pass the Terry Bison Ranch, and you're like, ooh, 10 more miles to freedom.
No, sir. It's actually Um, uh, they've got legal forms here.
Yeah, the deltas
They
for
have,
sure, but I know you're
yeah.
going up to fucking. Which way do you go? You go the Greeley way, or you go like the Wellington Fort Collins route?
I don't go. I don't go. It's all Wyoming made stuff. So
Okay,
Hey, how high are
Oh,
you
go
right
ahead,
now,
Jimmy.
though?
Fuck, he's soaring.
not too bad.
All right, call us back next time you are completely lucid, sober, not at all altered, not at all silly and giggly. You call in, and my first question to you is going to be, what is the divine realm, and how do you know it exists?
There are infinite divine realms. There are infinite divine
That's
realms.
not an answer.
Bro.
That's not an answer. That's not an answer to what it is.
Bro.
I guess there's
So-
not. I guess it might be finite. Depending on what you
when you're
believe.
not high. Try this when you're not high. Okay, call back
right.
totally sober.
All right.
If we can detect you're high, you're too high for this. Goodbye,
All
Calvin.
right. I understand. You can't. No, just kidding. All right. I love you.
I don't know you, so I certainly don't love you. You'd bet on him having it. He's saying he uses the deltas, which, you know, enough of those people do, but I remember the routes to the good weed and how you avoided getting pulled over on your way back from the
that seemed like he
dispensaries.
had some good shit.
Yeah.
You know?
That he's only a little bit high, but he can't stop laughing. I don't know.
I gotta get my I haven't eaten yet since I hopped on with Matt, so I'm just gonna grab a plate and then I'll be right back in.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna wait for you. I will wait for you. I cannot undersell this enough. I think this idea I had is going to be so good, guys. Like, legitimately so good. The only thing I lament is there is a really good version of this that could happen in person, and between my health issues and the infrastructure we have, we don't have a good way to make that part happen, to actually do the in-person version of it. I'm hoping one day in the future we can, when we do our big line con, the in-person line con, we'll probably try and have one or two of them at that time. If we're trying to have debates at LineCon, I guess I haven't thought about that. I don't know if that's a usual live conference kind of thing, especially since it'd be so weighted in our favor. Who's going to buy tickets to that? Who are not skeptics and line people? So it'd almost be unfair. But something I got to tell you guys, I cooked. I came up with a thing. I came up with a way to make debate actually like formal debate styles.
Will you just text it to me instead of you keep talking about it?
It's more of a show you. It's going to make way more
okay.
sense showing you than
well, we'll see how awake I am when you and Forrest finish at 3 a.m.
Nah, I probably will be done by 10, honestly. I don't think I could do more than 3 hours anyway. Not after 3 hours of this. At some point, I gotta give you one of the calls, and I gotta go salt some sirloins, and then during the show with Forrest, I'll probably be grilling them. I'll probably be doing a simultaneous. Maybe I should take my phone and link to Zoom on my phone and literally go Zuckerberg it out while I'm just out here smoking some meats.
I got me some pancakes.
Smoking my meats. Got my sweet baby Rays, and I'm smoking some meats.
Do you think it's a coincidence? The name of that caller, that the last caller that just showed up?
The most recent one, or what are you talking about?
Yeah.
The one we just talked to?
No. Because we have you know who.
Yeah.
And then somehow the call right after.
And they've also called with a different name and described themselves as a legend. So let's find out what this. I can't remember who it is. Billy from Kentucky. Billy, you've called before. You called with a different name. What's going on? Are you just here to spam?
What name did I call before?
As Lewis?
That is my name, William Lewis.
Huh. So why is it Billy today?
You said his name's William Lewis, didn't he?
All right, what's your point? So we're going with Billy, right? Are you the Billy in live chat?
No, that's Nate Billy.
No.
Oh, okay. That's
the Billy
Nate
in live
Billy.
chat is Nate Billy.
Oh. All right, Billy, go give it to us.
Hey, yo.
I mean, you're talking about all this bullshit shit that you're talking about. What has Donald Trump done to transsexuals?
Do you mean transgender people?
What has he done?
Kicked them out of the military first.
Fucked them over on their passports. They no longer can.
Why should they be? Wait. So to be clear, Billy, you said we're talking about some bullshit, and you told the screener that Donald Trump is not against trans people, but you've acknowledged he in fact did kick them out of the military, including somebody who works here, is a doctor. So it's not that you think he's not against against trans people. You are glad. No. I will finish, Billy. I will finish, and then you'll get to Billy. I will finish, and then you will get to respond. It's not that you don't think he's against trans people. It's that you're glad he's against trans people.
No. You want to twist everything. Gay people, transgender people do not belong in the military. They
Why?
do not belong in men.
Billy,
they do not
why?
belong in men. They do not belong.
Billy. Wait. Billy. Can you just answer the question? Why do trans people not belong in the military?
Is that even really a question?
Yes.
Oh my God! Don't be a fucking coward, bro. God damn.
Yes, it is a question.
Because men don't want them in there. These are men fighting a war. You walk in with fake tits and you got your dick hanging out. You do not belong in the military.
Yeah, I don't think you. I'm getting troll vibes here because that's literally not a thing, Billy. How old are you, Billy?
I'm a lot older than you, dude. Okay,
and how old is that? How old is that?
I'm 52.
52?
So let me ask you a question. I have a daughter now. She's gone. I have a granddaughter. If I go into a Walmart and a trans person walks into a woman's bathroom, I'm going to have a problem with that.
What are you going to do about it?
Right, because you're a bigot and you have a problem with trans people, which is what. Wait.
Hold on. No. What are you going to do about it? Billy? What are you going to fucking do about it?
I'm gonna grab your ass and pull you out of my.
So you're gonna go into the woman's bathroom to keep men out of the woman's bathroom
and commit an assault.
Stupid.
If you grab, you have no right invading women's spaces.
Hey, Billy. So what you just told us is that there's a hang on, Billy, calm down, Billy, calm down. You're here complaining about trans people, but you're the one being too hormonal. Okay, so I need you to take a breath.
I had to mute him. I can't hear the voice right now.
Okay, Billy, you got to calm down. I already barely believe that you're a legitimate caller. So here's the situation you just gave. A trans person walks into a bathroom where your cis daughter has walked in, and you, a cis man, are going to walk into the women's bathroom and commit an assault. What you have just described there is what the stats show. The thing that is a danger to children and women in their bathrooms are not trans women, it's cisgender men. In the scenario you just described, you committed a crime because somebody wanted to poop somewhere that they are comfortable. Wanted to be in a stall in a place where they feel safer. And by the way, Billy, you may not even know whether the person is trans or not. This has happened a bunch of times. There have been women who are cisgender, who are masculine, somewhat in appearance, who have been attacked, not trans. And there have been trans people who people are like, oh, we always know, who are, say, non-binary, who might be more masculine presenting, who walk into the women's bathroom and get attacked despite the fact that they're trying to follow some shitty law of the area that they have to go there. And there have certainly been transgender men who have gone into the women's bathroom because they are female and those laws require them to, and people freak out because they see what appears to be a bearded, muscular man who they don't realize has a vagina they were born with, and they want to attack that person. So far, you've basically described, if I see what I think is a trans person, I, a man, will walk in the women's bathroom and commit a crime. Billy, you're the problem there. Your thoughts, Billy? Unmuted.
You are the problem.
Nope, you're the one who just said you would commit a crime based on if you think you identified somebody as trans.
I have a 6-year-old niece. Okay. If she walks into here's somebody who's obviously a male.
How do you know they're obviously a male?
Billy, you have a psychopathic violent fantasy. You have a violence fantasy. You want to be able to take out your aggression on somebody, and you think trans people are the easy targets. That's all this is. You don't actually give a fuck if trans people use these bathrooms. You don't care. You just want to beat somebody up.
How many women?
You just want to beat somebody up.
How many women?
You just want to beat somebody up, Billy. You just want to beat somebody up. Just like that's all. You just want to beat somebody up, Billy.
Thousands to millions.
No, you're allowed.
Thousands to millions of women have facial hair.
Oh, they do? Show me one.
I'd argue most women.
Okay, here you go.
Billy,
okay, here you go.
I just showed you one. There's no way.
I just showed you one. You said to show you one. I did. Here it is. Here you go. I just showed you. We're on a phone call. Is this how dumb you are? You don't understand how this works?
Billy, like, you know, like almost every woman has facial hair, right? They just shave it.
Or it's more transparent. It's more fuzzy. Hey,
yes, are you stupid? Billy, are you fucking dumb? Were you born this dumb? Go to the nearest woman that you know and look at their face right now and tell me there's not hair on it.
They got beards. They got men beards.
You didn't say beards, dumb fuck.
I
didn't say beards, idiot.
My God, the way my ableism is being tested today, because I know it's in there, it's latent, and I try not to. And you know how much I like doing
I just had to tell my chat to stop being ableist.
I know. I'm like sitting here. I'm sitting here saying we can't do it, but you know that I compulsively, with everybody, imitate voices back to people. And so right now, it's like my normal compulsion would clearly be so ableist, and it's going to blow up my head.
You're an idiot. You an idiot.
I'm sure I am.
Spell idiot, Billy. Spell it. Spell idiot.
No, you're an idiot. Both of y'all.
Hey, which document? Which document would you say is most important to the establishment of the country?
God. Here we go.
What's the most
important? The United States.
The Constitution of the United. Could you just say the whole thing?
You got me blocked now.
I have you blocked? What are you talking about?
My computer said block.
I literally am talking to you right now. Your computer just tried to block you from, you just tried to sign up for a sex AI bot and it was a virus, and the block is your antivirus telling you, what the fuck are you doing? Stop trying to shit on trans people while consuming their porn so much.
Billy, I have a question for you real quick. This is super important question. Super important. Let's say you're with your granddaughter and she has to pee, Billy. So she has to go to the bathroom and you get to the bathroom. The family bathroom is full.
Oh my God.
The men's bathroom is completely full and your granddaughter has to pee. Are you sending her in the woman's bathroom alone? Are you going in with her or are you taking her into the men's room?
I would take her to the men's room. She's going to go to the women's bathroom.
So you would let her go into the bathroom alone?
Nope. Stand outside the door.
You can't stand outside the door. Other people need to pee. Or there may be people in the bathroom already. It's a communal bathroom.
Everybody goes there.
How do you know everybody in the bathroom before how do you know everybody in there? How do you know everybody in that bathroom how do you know there's not a trans person in there already?
The 90% of trans people.
Answer the question. Answer the question. Shut the fuck up. How do you know without going into the bathroom, Billy, that there's a trans person in there? How would you know without going inside the bathroom?
That's a stupid question.
No, you don't. You can't give an answer, dumb fuck.
All right, I have a line of questions for you. I have a
Wait,
line
no,
of questions.
Jimmy, hold
for
on.
you.
I need him to answer this fucking question.
Oh, I know.
I need him to answer it.
Go ahead.
I need a fucking Billy. Your granddaughter has to pee. You check inside every bathroom to make sure there's not a trans person in there?
No, I do not.
So then so what? Now you find, let's say she comes out of the bathroom, she's peed, and then like 5 minutes later you see a trans person come out after her. What do you do?
Nothing. But that don't happen.
Wait,
Because
honestly, Jovan, do you realize how fucking crazy this is in the first place? You would let your 6-year-old niece go into a bathroom that you haven't in some way verified doesn't have a cisgender man in, for example, waiting till it's like, first of all, okay, my 6-year-old niece, if I had to take my 6-year-old niece into a bathroom, I'm more likely to take her into the men's bathroom and give her a stall and stand in front of the stall than let her go into a bathroom that I don't have the ability to enter. So this is fucking crazy in the first place. But did you finish your questions with him, Jovan?
Yeah. He refuses fucking games. So yeah.
Wait, hey, Billy, would you trust Billy? Yeah. No, I know. You think we're really dumb. Okay, Billy. Fuck, I did it. Okay, Billy.
I think you're very dumb.
God damn it,
I know, very dumb. Okay, Billy. Shit, I'm getting canceled. Billy. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. Billy. I have questions for you. Would you trust a transgender woman to escort or babysit your 6-year-old niece?
No.
And is that so? Are you saying there's data out there that says because of certain data, she would be in danger with that transgender woman?
No.
So why not? Why wouldn't you?
I don't believe in a lifestyle.
But we're not talking about a lifestyle. We're talking about you need to quick run to the bathroom yourself. There's a transgender woman, for some reason. You wouldn't trust. Okay, so here's the fun thing, Billy. Your 6-year-old niece, according to all of the stats we have, is more in danger of being sexually assaulted by... No, you shut the fuck up. You are more of a sexual danger, according to the stats, than transgender women are. As far as your family member goes, who's trying to decide who to let babysit, if the reduction of a chance of exposure... reduction of a chance of being raped or molested was their priority, they would... All right, so you once again think you can talk over me. You literally, Billy, I already said I can do better. I don't need the lecture in chat. I already said I shouldn't have done it. And then I did it. Billy, I'm not perfect. I don't always meet my humanism. Jesus Christ, I canceled myself. Billy, you're sitting here as the primary group of people who assault children, not trans women. It's you. And in fact, it's even not just is it cisgender men, it's often family members. You are statistically a much bigger sexual threat to your niece in any way you want to measure it, per capita or total number of instances. You are a bigger sexual threat than transgender people are. So I am going to unmute. For the record, guys, if you want to cancel me, I also make fat jokes about Trump, even though I think fat shaming is bad. There's just the thing where I go, the arguments we're having about how to handle fascists and how intense the solutions might be that people are debating about, surely bullying them comes before that. I'm not just, I shouldn't have done it. I did it. I make fat jokes about Trump too. You're never, you're either here for the imperfection or you're not. And if you're not, that's okay. And we'll see you. It's all good. Billy. So once again, it's not that you think Trump isn't against trans people. It's that you think Trump's values line up with yours on trans people, and you are against trans people.
Here's my biggest problem with you two.
Mm-hmm.
You mute people.
Yeah, I also drop people when I don't care about them complaining. All right, moving on. was going to
I
give
don't
you the
know what was-
opportunity.
I don't know what was in those pancakes, but I actually feel like I'm about to yak.
You okay, bud? You need a minute?
Yeah, no, I feel. Let me just go refill my water before we take the next call. It's just like all of a sudden my stomach. I also might be in my head. I'm super worried about all the shit that came out with like the GLP-1s and gastroparesis.
Oh man,
like I genuinely am gonna talk to my doctor about probably stopping because I'm like I don't want to risk that shit. So now every time I eat, I'm like, oh fuck, is this it? Is this me?
It's not very common, but it is enough that like I feel like anytime I start a new medication, I expect the side effects. Today's my last day of these intense ass antibiotics I've been doing that are like colon targeted. Anyway,
let me just get some water. Maybe that's
yes, I agree with you. I did it twice. Chat's begging you to do it again. I didn't see any of that. It's really sad. I get why you did it. I don't expect you to be perfect. I hope you do better. I probably won't, but you're right. You're right. You are right. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it, but I did it. And honestly, I'll probably do the voice again when I'm making fun of the call, but off air. It just is what it is. I don't know. Not perfect. Can't be. Won't be. I will say, it was killing me to not do. Y'all heard me do Jordan Peterson this show. Y'all heard me do, you hear me do Trump a lot. It's hard to not, I have a compulsion to mimic different voices.
Is it okay to do that voice if you're not referencing someone? Because whenever me and Arden play Peak, I literally talk like this.
I guess so. Also, I had a lisp when I was a kid. Like, but it was me. It was me. It was bullying. It is. Lisp. Yeah, I can do it because it's me. No. I did it wrong. I shouldn't have done it, but I did it. That's just the way the world's going to be. And I'm a fat guy who fat shames. Like, but only fascists. I fat shame the fascists. And anyway, people want to feel about it
with stuff like that.
For the record, anybody who wants to feel bad about it, for sure. Yeah, Jimmy, you don't still say the N-word. You're correct. I don't. I still feel the compulsion to when I sing music, and that one I don't allow myself to slip on.
Guys, clip that. Jimmy feels compulsion to say the N-word. Clip that.
Definitely, I do. Like, not even joking. Like, that's 100% true. And I think a lot of people hit those moments where they're like, of course I do. You know what? I also feel compulsively like laughing at a lot of racist jokes, but I try not to. There's some racist jokes that hit me and I go, I hate that the white supremacist in me but the difference I feel about myself is there are going to be a lot of people like Jimmy admits there's a white supremacist in me, and there is in you guys too, you whites that are watching. Like that's what it's going to be. I feel like development is recognizing those things about yourself and becoming better. And boy, it's hard to get away from what you were raised in. And I think people would actually engage better and get more grace and stuff like that if they would admit there's that shitty part inside of you that, you have to actively work against. Oh. It's not hard to work against being racist anymore, for the record. It used to be hard. Now I feel like, have you paused or are you giving me a judgmental look?
I'm trying to hold back whatever the fuck is going on with my stomach right now.
People are going to be like, he was so racist. It makes him want to throw up.
Oh yeah, it shut me down. I'm actually composing my resignation letter from the line right now.
I would say the racism in me shows up now the most in there's points of time where like I wish I had a good example of it, but where it's like some claim is made and I don't think to challenge it on the base of the race that is being invoked, where it's literally like where you might just accept. So this wouldn't be one of them. This is an example of how a person could do it. When a person, like if somebody is connecting like, oh, this person who comes from a black neighborhood committed this crime, and you have that experience of like, well, surprise, surprise. It's like a version of that's not that intense and obviously racist anymore. It's those things still come up and you're like, fuck, man, I still have missed a million places. I had the realization with sexism like 5 years ago when I started listening more to ex-Mormon women's stories. And I was like, holy fucking shit. I thought I was the ex-Mormon extraordinaire who knew everything. I didn't know, because I guess I didn't care to know it didn't affect me, so it didn't flag as much. There's like a whole other church going on of bad shit of that. I thought I knew what the sexism looked like in the Mormon church and shit, and there was so much more than I even thought I knew. So anyway, it's just that kind of shit.
Secret lives of Mormon wives.
It happens. It happens. Anyway, I'm sure somebody will call in to say Trump isn't racist. And then that'll be a nice contrast to me.
I'm there's a few callers in the queue I just do not have the energy to want to talk to today.
Do you have a preference? By the way, if you want to throw up that bad, I shouldn't say it's
no,
on air,
I don't even know if it's throw up. I don't know what it. You ever had it where you're just something feels off, but you can't really describe?
So when I really need to throw up, I get the worst vertigo. My head feels like it's 100 pounds, and I am like so dizzy until I do. So for me, if I'm sick and need to throw up, I don't want to say anything that's going to hit anybody's like eating disorder issues. Specifically, if I'm sick and need to throw up, I don't deny my body it anymore. If I feel that and I'm like, oh, this is going to be an issue, I just do it. And then it usually is pretty quickly over.
No, I can't figure out.
Doesn't happen.
Exactly. Maybe I should get a bucket though to be safe, but I can't figure out exactly what is going on with me right now. But I do. I like call number just so you know. Number 11.5 I think is dumb. Number 12.3 I like. What's the point? So like, I'd more be interested in 9.2 I guess, unless we want to just fucking. The fact that Nate Billy has been on the line for an hour is crazy.
It's very funny. We'll get to him maybe.
Like I know that 11.5 is gonna make me just yell at somebody.
I don't know why we needed to. Man, I already feel like they lost enough too. Was this the guy who had called in a while back too and was like, he wasn't the guy who was mad at you for saying and then totally misrepresented what you were saying, that essentially basically you and I are racist because you said you would vote for Jasmine Crockett because she's black. And basically he, being racist, clearly was committing you to an unnuanced version of that. Essentially you would have voted for her even if she was Candace Owens. It just black is all that mattered. Anyway, something. I wonder if
that person.
Guy. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not like super gung ho on any of these calls at the moment. So you can pick.
Well, yeah, people wanting to call in and talk about trans issues a shit ton too, and it's already like.
You can literally call me every day to talk about that. You don't need to call both of us.
Well, I like when the thing right now is that MAGA won't defend MAGA because they've found out they're indefensible. Hey, Dave from Massachusetts, you're on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. Dave, why have you called in with a different name in the past?
I'm sorry?
Why have you called in with a different name before now?
I don't think I have, but that's interesting.
Yes, you have called from. Are you in Maine or Massachusetts?
I'm in Mass.
Mass. Okay. In the past, you called, and the note was probably wrong, but you called in with the name Bill. So we have 3 either past or present Billies today. You called in on February 5th, and you said your name was Bill. So what's the deal here?
My name's Dave.
Okay, but what was the deal with Bill?
I don't think I've ever called into this show before, ever.
I don't think the computer is going to break. So who called in with your exact phone number as a Bill on February 5th?
I do hang out with some guys from Maine.
And you just hand them your phone?
Listen to your show. And we've definitely
and you just hand them your phone to call in?
I might have. We were in the garage that day.
Oh, you remember where you were on February 5th, over a month ago, but you don't remember if you handed someone your phone and if they called in to talk to us.
I remember calling in with my buddies, but I don't remember using my phone. Maybe we did. Maybe you're right.
All right.
Said you've never called into the show before.
Dave, fundamentally, we could talk about your topic, trans women are women and trans men aren't men. or aren't women and aren't men. But frankly, we've done it to death, and I'm more interested to find out if you are willing to defend being MAGA and that Trump is a good president with everything going on.
Yeah, happy to do that. Before we get going, though, I'm genuinely curious, not poking fun or anything like that.
Yeah.
Jovan, why is there a reason why you wear those ears?
Because they're headphones. And I need headphones to listen to my computers.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
All right, Dave.
You didn't know that the things around my ears were headphones?
I didn't realize they went into your ears. I just see like the blue light up like cat thing.
You don't. Okay. They're literally like big headphones. They go over his ears. Dave, Dave, how old are you?
32.
How did you vote in the last 3 elections?
I voted for Trump the last 2. And then I think the one before that. Who was the one before that? Was Hillary in that one? Because I did vote for Hillary once too.
You did vote for Hillary once?
Yeah, I think it goes Hillary, Trump, Trump.
What was the main reason you voted for Trump this time?
Oh, because Biden was intolerable.
So it wasn't on policies, it was on vibes, or was it on policies?
I'd say it's a mixture of both. Both, like having the
It shouldn't
guy
be
not be able
both.
to.
It should be just policies. Which policies? Which political
That's your
promises? Sure. I mean, that's kind of like saying science should be vibes and based on like doing science, like evolution, accepting evolution. We should only accept evolution based on our vibe, or half on our vibe and half on how good the science is. Whereas I kind of think it should be based purely on policy. Disagree with what?
Science is a process. Science is a process.
Right, but you wouldn't say vibes. You should vibe out science. You would say...
I didn't say vibes. You said vibes.
I did, and you said that was my opinion to suggest you have a different opinion. So I'm going to come back. You should vote based on policies and not vibes.
Intolerable to listen to. That's what I said.
Right, you should vote based on policy, not vibes. Also, Joe Biden wasn't running for election last election. So this was this most recent election.
Kamala? That's even worse.
Correct.
To be honest.
Kamala Harris. Right. So what was it based on policy, or you don't like the way she sounds?
It was 100% on the last 4 years of Biden and her coming in and wanting to repeat what he did.
Okay, great. So you're saying it is policy and Biden era policies that we're continuing. Can you name one policy she wanted to implement that Biden did not?
No, because I feel like it was all the same.
Right, but you're wrong. So we are back to feelings. She literally had her own platform that did have unique things. First, for example, her first-time young buyers credit, her small business loan credits.
Support 90% of what the previous president did? Is that yes or no?
You are moving the goalposts. This is a different question.
Wait,
absolutely.
Can we ask? Wait. Can I just ask what specific policies of Biden's you disagreed with?
His immigration policies were abysmal. His transgender
what were his immigration policies? Dave, what was his immigration policy?
Let everyone in and not ask.
No, that was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. You were mistaken. Considering that Biden in his last year actually deported more people than Trump did in his first year or in any year of
We're not talking about deportations.
His election.
We're not talking about deportations. We're talking about letting people
I'm sorry.
in.
So it's just let people in, but he's kicking them all out?
Are those different?
Right.
Are those
also,
different?
Yeah, no, I would actually.
Deportation and immigration different? Yes or no?
You're all right. Crossing the borders is different, and I'm also telling you. Excuse me, Dave. You don't get to talk over me. You're still wrong. In fact, you said his immigration policy. What bill did he propose?
Why does knowing the name of the bill matter more than what
let's not talk about the name then. Let's talk about what it did. Let's talk about what it did. Dave, I'm not a liberal. Dave, I don't care if you know the name. Just tell me what.
Everything you say, Dave, is now invalid. That's such a
Dave, you just spent 2 minutes. You just spent 2 minutes completely straw manning. I'm not asking you for the name. I'm asking you what it did. What did he propose? What bill did he propose? What would it have done with immigration?
There were more illegal immigrants that came into the country in the 4 years of Biden.
Hey, Dave, are you afraid to say you don't know, or do you know and you know that this is going to destroy your whole fucking point? Why can't you answer the question?
I'm not afraid to answer. I don't know the
go ahead.
actual name of the policy, but
I already said I don't need the name. I told you can just.
I'm not a credible person. I don't know policy
Dave,
what
absurd. Of Biden's immigration policy specifically let in more people?
The fact that they didn't patrol the border whatsoever.
Incorrect.
That's also
again,
not true.
He not only had more deportations, but he also had more turnaways at the border.
Yep.
So I don't know how
Did
they're
more
not patrolling
illegal
the border.
Immigrants come in with Biden or Trump? Which one? Come on, guys.
Even under Trump, even under this last year of Trump, who had about the same number of people coming in as Biden did, Biden still had more turnaways. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Dave, you're saying a lot of dumb things, and Dave. Hey, Dave, you got to chill for a second. You're being too hormonal.
Hold on 1 second. I can
Dave,
speak
no,
for 1 second.
no. I'm not going to hold on. Yeah. So, Dave, you keep
Dave.
asking these. I've muted you since you think you get to run how the show goes. Dave, you keep getting asked questions, and then you answer with a question that is like tangential, but would take it more in the scripted direction you want. The issue here, Dave, is that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and every point that you've made has been wrong. And to even bring up the like, did more cross under him or under Trump? That's also like saying Donald Trump must be better on climate change because emissions went down under Trump from vehicles versus Biden. You're literally trying to give him credit for something that was caused by COVID, by a total shutdown of the world by COVID. Now, once you get past that, the then question becomes, having a person who is a fascist with the border, even if it is more successful, doesn't justify the fascism, doesn't justify the concentration camps, doesn't justify the violence, the killing, the stacking people into warehouses, all the shit they've been doing. So you would have that on top of it. And then, Dave, you were told multiple times, I don't need you to know the name, just what it would do. So now, Dave, we're going to educate you. Jovan, in fact, remembers the name. I forgot the name of the bill. What was the name of the senator?
It was the Manafort bill.
The Manafort bill. And we're calling it that because it is named for the Republican who was the primary author of the bill. It gave the president new powers to shut down the border when crossings reached a certain point, as well as massively expanding overall crossing powers and making it harder for people to come in, get asylum, and the like. It is, in fact, the most conservative immigration bill that they could have possibly imagined passing. Again, authored by a Republican, a MAGA Republican. Now, Dave, as I take you off mute, what happened? Sorry, you're right. It was Langford was the guy, was the Republican.
Oh, did I say Manafort?
Yeah, the Langford bill. The Langford bill. You said Langford earlier. What happened to the Langford bill when they tried to pass it? And I'll give you a hint. It started originally with massive Republican and Democrat support. It looked like it was going to sail through because they liked Langford's hard on immigration stances on the right, and because the Democrats, you got to basically say, hey, we did something on immigration. So what happened to that Langford bipartisan, wildly popular bill? What happened to it?
Why did they put that in? Why did they propose such a bill like that in the first place?
I already actually said why they proposed a bill like that. So now you go ahead and you answer my question, because that's how it works. Why would I answer your question if you're not even trying to answer mine? What happened to that bill?
It got shut down.
By?
I honestly don't know. I would assume
Good.
Republicans.
I will tell you, the Republicans were very for it. Then Donald Trump called Mike Johnson and a number of other Republicans down to Mar-a-Lago And we now know from leaks from that meeting that he said, don't pass it. I won't win. I can't run on immigration if you pass it. And so we then got no. We're not done. You said his policies were terrible. Republican assessments of his policy was that bill was the most conservative bill there was any chance of passing, and Donald Trump nuked it for his own political gain. So the only thing you can say about the problem with Biden's policies, if you are a Republican, is that Donald Trump nuked Biden's conservative policies.
So again, why were they considering such a policy at the time?
Dave, why aren't you going to engage with what I just said?
I am. Why did they put into place a policy like that at that time?
All right, Dave, since you're going to ask me that question, you're not going to answer mine and answer to what I just said. I'm going to give it to you. I am not going to give you the short version of the answer because I know what the short version is. There is a long version of the answer. The problem with the border is that we make immigration far too hard. It is made this way on purpose. We actually need a lot of people to immigrate, but we can exploit them more if some percentage of them, if maybe even most, are undocumented and they have to exist in an underground. So now with that status, where it now takes forever to get something like a worker's visa, if you don't come from one of the countries that are, let's be honest, white, where it isn't easy to even get refugee status. No, Dave, you don't get to interrupt me. You insisted I answered the question, so I'm going to answer it. We make immigration in this country terribly difficult, far too difficult. So there is a certain number of people who come here. They are usually fleeing. It could be persecution. It could be poverty. And they come to America because America promises to be the place that we will take everybody. Our strength is that we are a nation of immigrants. But hey, that's just what Ronald Reagan thought. So maybe Dave and Donald Trump don't agree. They come here looking for opportunities, and a lot of people come. There was a pause on people coming because of COVID. After COVID, there was a surge of people coming. And because in America, we just assume undocumented immigrants is a bad thing, despite the fact that they commit crimes at lower rates and the fact that they inject money into our economy and even our tax system, Social Security, Medicare, while not taking back. People just hear more illegal immigrants and just assume it's a bad thing without actually demonstrating it's a bad thing. The bad thing about undocumented immigrants is we make it so hard for them to document. So the influx of post-COVID immigrants went up. And then the right-wing mechanism, the right-wing machine that we saw work under Donald Trump as well, started making up bullshit. Started making up bullshit about the danger these people are to your families, started making up bullshit about how they're taking jobs. It's the same thing they usually run. It's like we saw in, I think it was 2022, maybe it was the one before that, might have been 2020. It was 2020, where Donald Trump tried to run on the caravans that were coming. And then the moment that the election was over, suddenly we weren't talking about these caravans. So that is the long answer, a combination of a post-COVID surge and lying right-wing propaganda to make people feel like they are in danger when they are not in danger. And statistically, they are in less danger amongst their undocumented brothers and sisters and non-binary siblings than they are amongst citizens. All right, Dave, you demanded I answer your question. I now have. Go ahead.
That was a very long-winded answer. I don't even know how
it was the full answer.
Right. So people come here because it's the greatest country on earth, first and foremost.
It isn't the greatest country on earth. No, of course not. Because you do realize we don't get large amounts of immigration from a lot of countries. So for the best country on earth, wouldn't we have a huge influx of immigrants from all countries?
Name a country that gets more immigrants than us from more countries in the world.
That would not establish who the best country is. We broadcast ourselves. Excuse me, Dave. Dave, you asked me to do something and I'm going to respond in my way. Do you want to get muted again? Dave,
I used your word.
We broadcast ourselves as a country for immigrants, not to mention we fuck over the economies of our neighbors, mostly the brown ones. And so we are land attached to a lot of people who would like to immigrate. That is the reason why we get a lot of immigrants from Central and South America, but far fewer immigrants, especially who are coming to work and to chase the American dream from places in Europe. People from Europe tend to immigrate for family, for people they want to be around, for marriage and the shit, not to live the American dream, not to escape how unfortunate their life in, say, the Netherlands or New Zealand was. By the way, New Zealand's better than America.
How many world wars have they won?
Oh, that's what
Holy
makes it better.
shit.
How many more? You know what? How many nukes? How many atom bombs has New Zealand ever dropped?
How many world wars did America win, Jimmy?
One? What are we calling?
The only
No,
reason
just
you
America.
Right now
No, just America.
German or
Yeah.
Just the
Japanese
U.S. Just the U.S. How many did we win?
You asked for the. You're moving goalposts. This doesn't make a country. Yes, you are.
Hey, Jimmy.
These are not the categories of what makes
these. Question of the last.
Dave has to get muted again because he wants to talk over both of us at the same time.
For
These are
real.
not what makes a country the best country,
Jimmy,
Dave. Go ahead.
Jimmy, of the last 10 wars we fought, how many did we win?
Of the last 10, did we win any of them? Have we?
We didn't win
consider
Vietnam.
ourselves right? We didn't win.
We didn't win Korea.
Did we win the Cold War?
We didn't win the Cold War.
Yeah.
How many? Which ones did we win?
The
we
War
didn't
on
win
Terror.
World War II.
War on Terror. War on drugs. War on Christmas. Did America win the War on Christmas? Okay, wait. America won the War on Christmas, Jovan.
That's the one we got it.
Can you be man enough to admit that America won the War on Christmas?
I can admit we won the War on Christmas.
So why would how many world wars a country won be what makes it the greatest country? What are you describing as great or best? What is the category? Because then we clearly have to define our terms. So we need to first agree on what best means. So what would you like to propose as the definition of best when saying best country?
Thanks for unmuting me again. It seems like every time I make a point, I get muted.
No, it's not when you make a point. It's when you try to talk over myself or Jovan or both of us at the same time.
Jimmy, I just coughed and that mute button got hit again randomly.
Ah, damn.
Oh, man.
Hey, if you don't want to get muted, Dave, don't talk until the mic is given to you. You are a guest on our show. If you come into my house, you should ask before you open my fridge, not just go for it.
In your house?
If you are present in my home.
Oh, okay.
All right, unmuting again, Dave. What should the definition of best for best country be?
I don't think you'd let me in your house first and foremost. I just have that feeling. But I got there about the World War thing because you said New Zealand was better than America. That's what you said.
Correct.
So that was my rebuttal.
Yep. And so now I am telling you, you must define best if you are claiming. Because I don't agree that the phrase better or best would have anything to do with how many world wars a country has won.
I agree with that. I don't think that's the major measuring stick there.
And yet that was your point.
Well, you said New Zealand. That was my point for New Zealand specifically.
That world wars was why America is better, no? And I say no.
If you said, Dave, is America better than New Zealand? Give me the reasons.
I didn't.
I can give you a lot of reasons why.
And yet you went with world wars, which you've immediately why wouldn't you start with your best point? Why would you start with one that you're going to back off of immediately when we ask you for definitions?
It's a country by country answer. It's not a general. We're better than everyone.
How many concentration camps has New Zealand ever had for their own citizens?
Give me the address of the concentration camp you're referencing in America.
Well, it's been removed. You wanted to bring up the World War, and I was talking about the concentration. Excuse me, Dave. Excuse me, Dave. I said concentration camps. Concentration camps for its own. Are you not aware of Asian internment camps in America during World War II? Do you really not know that that's a part of our history, Dave? There are people who were alive in them. George Takei was raised in one.
I'm sorry. I thought you were referencing like our current time frame.
Right. We do currently have concentration camps too. They're technically not for our citizens. They're still fucked up. And I'm sorry, earlier, wait, earlier, did you complain that,
in America?
did you earlier complain, I'm sorry, did you earlier, hey Dave, did you earlier complain that I said you don't know a bill if you don't know its name, but if I don't off the top of my head know the exact address of Alligator Alcatraz or the CCOT camps or the fucking places that we're sending people to in, I have Venezuela on the brain. That's not where we're sending them, right? Where's the big one they're sending?
The state is fine. Do you think Florida has concentration camps?
Yeah. Yes, Alligator Alcatraz.
You live in Florida?
What is a concentration camp,
I have lived in Florida.
Dave, can you define concentration camp for me? Like, what is it?
Are you talking to me or him?
You.
A concentration camp? I mean, off the top of my head, I think 95% of people who have read a fucking book immediately think of the Holocaust. Is that not accurate?
That's not what I asked you. That wasn't the question I asked you.
You asked me what I think a concentration camp is, and I replied that 90% of people out there who know anything
I don't care
about
what 90% of people. I don't care what 90% of. I don't care what 90% of people know. I'm asking you.
As concentration camp.
I'm asking you.
I'm gonna help
what
Dave
a
out here.
concentration camp is.
Hey Dave, if I ask you what is a fruit and you say 90% of people would think of an apple, have you just defined what a fruit is to me?
I think if you think of 10 people and 9 of them think something, it's probably right. Well,
maybe Jimmy, what's a car?
How
Jimmy,
did
what's
you
a
not
car?
engage in the question I just told you? If I ask you to name a fruit and you say 9 out of 10 people thought of an apple, that isn't a definition of a fruit. It's a popular example of a fruit. You get the difference, right, Dave?
I do.
So what's the definition of a concentration camp? Because it's not going to be an example of a concentration camp.
Sure. We're referencing a concentration camp, not in current times, but in a very general sense over the course of all history, yes?
I would have been impressed if you could have done either.
Okay. So my definition would be a concentration camp is either run by a country or a government within that country, and it's usually not like a legality type thing. It's more based on like religion, politics, where they come from, and they get sent there. Would that be an accurate concentration camp definition for the two of you?
No, it has elements, but no, first the legal thing, concentration camps do not require the process be legal or not. It can be an illegal or illegal concentration camp.
I said without legal
You just
process.
said,
I said without.
right, it can be either. You can have a legal concentration camp. It's still wrong.
I agree. Okay, I misspoke. Let's take the legality out of it. The small percentage of that definition. Was everything else accurate that I said?
I don't remember now all that you said. It sounded like you were trying to put in your own words a grok definition, so it was probably pretty close.
Grok definition? I don't even know what that is.
I'm sure.
I really don't. What is that?
It was a grok lobster. Jovan, now that we've got an idea of what he thinks a concentration camp is, what was your follow-up? I'm getting my sound pipe back to me, Jovan. I think Jovan's reconnecting his microphone. I'm sure he has a follow-up question for you, Dave.
I'm waiting.
By the way, so concentration camps, the general definition is going to be something like a government-ran civilian, often civilian detainment facility where political, ethnic, and other group rivals are being basically contained, usually under threat of violence. Like they'll be brought in with armed guards, bad conditions. Go ahead.
So I would
Jovan,
agree that our
I just want to know how. I just want to know how. I just want to know how some place like Alligator Alcatraz would not constitute a concentration camp.
Alligator Alcatraz. How is it not a concentration camp?
Yep.
My understanding of that situation in that place was that that's where they take them during an in-between process of deportation. Is that not accurate?
The place they took people before Auschwitz wasn't a concentration camp?
I didn't I didn't reference Auschwitz whatsoever. It's the in-between place before they go back to wherever they came from.
Has this guy called us dumb? He's intellectually condescended to us, right? While not gathering.
I just got a legitimate aneurysm.
Yeah, my brain.
I don't call people dumb.
It's like
I don't do that.
It's
I'm not a
you've
bully.
just been
I don't do
intellectually
that.
condescending. The fact that you aren't getting when he's giving you a parallel example of why your reasoning for why it isn't a concentration
He just
camp.
referenced it being in the middle of going to a death camp. I referenced it's the middle spot between them returning to their home country.
Okay, so all the people that were sent to Alligator, all the people that were sent to Alligator Alcatraz, and then sent to CCOT afterwards. So all the people that were sent to Alligator Alcatraz, then sent to CCOT afterwards. That wasn't a concentration camp then.
I don't believe that should be in the same realm as a concentration camp. No, I do not.
Why not?
Because they're completely different than what.
How so?
Again,
In what way?
they don't go there to die. That
Concentration camp.
Concentration camps aren't about death.
When
Those
America
are
had
death camps.
Japanese
No, but it can be the
concentration,
in-between.
hey, when America had Japanese concentration camps during World War II, was their end goal to eventually kill the Japanese people in those camps, or was it after the war to return them to society?
It was the latter.
Right. So the fact that you're not going there to die doesn't actually determine whether or not it is a concentration camp.
So if we're at war with a specific country and we capture those people,
that's not what. That's not. Oh my God, Dave! Do you think that that's what happened in World War II? Do you think that we're talking about POW camps? The Japanese that were interned. Were the Japanese people that were interned in World War II American citizens or not?
I don't know. I would say
Jesus
some of them
fucking Christ. And you're calling in to tell us what is and isn't a concentration camp? What does and doesn't compare? And why America's the best country in the world when you don't know that based on looking Japanese, American citizens were interned by their fucking government. They were citizens. And you're going to talk down to us intellectually and tell us about America being the best country in the world? Hey, you know slavery happened in America, right? You're aware of that, right?
Best country in the world. It's the most desired.
You don't even know our sins, my guy. You don't even know what we did wrong. You didn't know we interned.
Country
you didn't know. No, it isn't.
You know that.
You didn't know. No, I don't know that because I don't believe that.
You do.
America
That's why you live here. That's why you won't. Why won't you leave?
Dave, I live here.
Why don't you go
Dave,
to a different country?
I was born here. The people I care about are here, and the political action that I care to put my power behind is in trying to make America the best country in the world, because I do believe in the concept of the American Constitution and that we should be doing what the Constitution actually laid out, which is a map for progressivism. That's why they had the whole thing that you're supposed to have conferences every 20 years to update the shit that we just ignore because we have a conservative base in our country preventing us from being the best country in the world. That's why I fucking stay. You stay, even though you don't know, you hate what America's actually supposed to be.
I want to point out, Spain has the most citizenship applications out of every country. Spain is the country that gets the most people applying to be citizens there. Not the United States, Spain.
And you know what's funny is I still wouldn't call Spain the best country in the world.
That's what makes the best country in the world.
No, that's what your standard was.
I hope you stub your toe tonight. I hope that every side of your pillow is the warm side of the pillow. I hope you eat a lifesaver and it is the most bland shit on the planet. I hope you drop your glasses and they break. I hope that when you're dreaming tonight, you piss your pants.
I want to expect a lifesaver, but it turns out to be one of those wintergreen ones. You know, you think it's going to be fruit and then it's wintergreen. You said, hey, Dave, you were the one who set the standard that the most applications makes it the best country in the world.
No,
we never said that.
I didn't.
Do you want me to replay the tape? Do you want me to replay the tape?
I said it's
most people
it's one
desire
of the most desirable countries in the world. That's what I said.
And yet you found out that that's not true. And by the way, America benefits from the fact that the country is huge and has geography connecting it to the places that most of the people who are trying to come here are coming from. If New Zealand was New Zealand, excuse me, if New Zealand was New Zealand and it was landlocked to the other continents, you would see immigration there rapidly expand. But it's hard to swim to New Zealand.
Really?
Yes, really.
Okay.
Wait, are you literally sitting here saying that if New Zealand wasn't easier to get to, more people wouldn't immigrate to it?
I didn't say that, no, but I definitely don't think it's because people can't swim to it. I think that's an outrageous take.
If it is landlocked, it would be literally the water and the skies. Those are the two ways you can get there. Both are hard. They're also very hard for people who are poor to do. America promises to be the place that you can come work here if you are poor. You can come work here and you can have a standard.
100 years.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
For over 100 years.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't ever since we closed our borders up so tight. Ever since we made immigration so hard, we have made it you can come here if you're poor, and then we'll keep you poor. We'll keep you important. No, we absolutely did not.
Why do you think ICE is doing what they have to do right now? Why do you think ICE
I love that you're invoking Muslims for the last 100 years.
Sorry.
This is so fucking dumb.
Right now? You haven't heard or seen anything about ICE in the last 15 years. In the last 4 years, you started.
I'm sorry. In the last 15 years, you mean like in the last 15 years? Are we talking about?
You don't let me finish a sentence, brother. You don't let me finish a sentence without
your
cutting me
sentences
off.
are dumb, and you're often just yelling over shit. I'm actually going to mute you again, and this time just to annoy you. That's literally it this time. Dave, you have the dumbest questions. Your standard is like, we'll put up a point, and then you'll just go to a question that sounds, why do you think ICE is so busy? Because Donald Trump has funded ICE to a ridiculous degree, has wasted way more money on ICE than any immigrant fraud that has happened. The actual solution to the immigration quote-unquote problem is amnesty. Everybody who's here, you're allowed to be here. If you committed crimes, we're still going to get rid of you, or we're going to put you in prison. That's the fucking solution. Because at the end of the day, core to you, Dave, who is very obviously a white supremacist, core to your feelings is that immigrants are bad. Illegal or not, the brown immigrants shouldn't be here. Guess what? They should be here. They should stay here. They should work, and they should have all the protections that civilians get for being an American. This is I love how we just always keep skipping over whether or not who is the problem if a person is a quote unquote illegal immigrant? Is it the immigrant, or is it the system that has designated them illegal? And it's very clearly the system that has made them illegal. Jesus Christ, this guy. Last points, Dave. I might mute you, though.
Appreciate you taking me off mute. So let's just run with an example of New Zealand. So all of a sudden, let's say everyone wants to go to New Zealand, they can get there and everyone can afford it. New Zealand all of a sudden says, okay, we've taken too many people from different places in. So now they're going to look to say who's legal and who isn't legal. And they've decided as a country that if you've come here the right way, the way we asked, you can stay. But if you've arrived to New Zealand without the proper process and due diligence, you now have to go back to wherever you came from. Would you
Dave.
be
hey, Dave, I have a question for you. Dave, I have a question. Hey, Dave, I have a question for you, since we're talking about the right way. Dave, we're talking about the right way. So pretend you are now a poor immigrant from Guatemala. You would like to go work. Excuse me, Dave. Dave, you didn't ask a question. You just made an example of New Zealand. Dave, I've asked you. Did you hear the part where I said a clarifying question about your example? Because I need further context, Dave. So, Dave, I need you to explain it to me because I clearly don't know. You're a poor immigrant who comes from Guatemala. You trek to America because of the American promise that if you come up there to work, we will embrace you and you'll be able to live a good life. What is the right way for them to come in?
The proper way for them to come in is whatever guidelines that country has set for them to
No. In America, what is the good way, the right way?
I'm from here. I've never had to do it. I don't necessarily.
Oh shit!
Know
so you're
Holy
talking
shit,
about a
bro.
right way, and the point that I made right before yours, Dave, that you're supposed to be engaging is the problem with illegal immigration is the illegal part. Because our process is dog shit. You think we actually believe this in America, or that we put it into play. You think that if a poor person is hardworking, they will find an easy time getting into this country and doing it the right way to be a worker and support America, because you don't know fucking shit about it.
Well, it's
and if you're
interesting that
white,
so many
Dave, if you're
poor
white, like
people
my
have
mother,
come
who was an
here
immigrant,
and settled and gotten legal immigration. It's so weird that it's so hard to do.
Hey, Dave.
That
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave.
thousands,
How come
millions of people have successfully done it?
Hey, Dave. Dave, if it's Dave,
My uncle
if it's
came here from Scotland with a backpack in 1984.
Dave, I don't care about your anecdote. So, Dave, you muted again. Now, here's your question. You're talking about how easy it is. Clearly, it's so easy. If it's so easy, how come Elon Musk couldn't do it? Why was Elon Musk an illegal immigrant in this country?
Hundreds of thousands, millions have come here.
Hey, Dave. All right, we're going to mute you again since you're not answering the question. Dave, if it's so easy, hundreds of thousands, millions, if it is so easy, why did Elon Musk fail to do it with all of them? Elon Musk, even as an immigrant here, has always been rich. He's always had the money and resources. Why was Elon Musk an illegal immigrant in this country prior to him getting citizenship?
Well, I'm giving you hundreds and millions of examples. And
okay, so Dave, I'm going to ask you again. If it's so easy, why, Dave, did Elon Musk fail to do it?
Maybe he realized it wasn't a good fit for him personally.
Nope, Dave, he's then got citizenship. He was still living in the country as an illegal immigrant. So if it's so easy, why did he fail to do it?
Maybe he did something in his life or had family elsewhere he wanted to be.
Maybe Dave, the person who's admitted he doesn't know the process doesn't know.
Millions of people that have.
Right. You're right. So you're repeating yourself. Hundreds of thousands of millions. Most of these are relying on when immigration standards were more lax and it was easier. And again, you were given the example of a poor Guatemalan who wants to come here to work. And what you don't recognize is that the terrible process that we have made it, both, one, makes your initial entry difficult to obtain unless you are claiming some sort of refugee status, in which case it is still hard, especially under Trump. Despite the fact that you might be fleeing persecution and violence. Two, that we've made it expensive, so hard workers don't just get in because they're hard workers unless they have enough money to pay for it in the first place. Three, we make it years and years long with an arduous court system in the way. So, Dave, you've already admitted you don't know what the process is, but you won't admit you don't know that if it is so hard that the idea that you are a poor person who wants to come and work hard and then live the American dream, whether that category of people do face too much adversity to actually make it here. So Dave or Bill or whatever fake name you're using today, these will truly be your final thoughts. You have proven time and time again you don't know the immigration process. You didn't know Americans interned their own citizens during World War II. You don't know how to define things, just how to give examples. Why should we care about your opinion of your assessment of America?
I did define concentration camp. You did agree with my definition. Every example I've tried to make to you, you mute me or cut me off before I can even make my point.
You were asked to answer a question and you decided to be whiny about it again. So I don't care. Like, it's just at the end of the day, why would we give a shit? All right, Jovan, you can have your pick. I'm going to go salt my meats. I know I'm taking too much. You still feeling sick?
No. I'm doing a lot better now. God.
Don't take line 20. I want that one.
Line 20?
Yeah. If that's the only one that appealed to you, you certainly can. But yeah, I'd also like to, some of the God calls, well, we're already in the last hour, so that's going to be fine. It'd probably be best for transferring the audience back to Forrest and I to
No, I got this. I'm actually going to take 24.
Okay.
All right, coming up next, we have Chilo from Nevada. Chilo, you're on the line with Jovan. We'll be Jimmy in a second. Chilo, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there and leaning low and to the left. Chilo, you are calling in to tell us that not everybody should be allowed to immigrate into the country and that we need to focus on ourselves. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Before we begin, Chilo, we have a live chat both between myself and Jimmy's page that are sitting at about over 1,000 people, give or take, looking like close to 2,500 people watching the stream right now. Should they call you he, she, they, or something else? What do you prefer they call you?
Whatever they want. I don't acknowledge that.
You don't acknowledge that? What does that mean?
I mean, it is what it is. You know, I really don't give a shit about pronouns or anything.
I'm not asking if you care about them. I'm asking you what do you want.
Whatever they interpret my voice as is what
I'm
they
not
can
asking.
call me.
I don't want them to interpret anything. I want you to tell us.
Well, I'm not going to answer that question.
Why?
Because me personally, I don't agree with that. So
you don't agree with
if you want to have
pronouns?
If you want to have a
hold on.
yes.
You don't agree with you don't agree with a basic form of grammar?
I don't agree with me having to identify it. I think that it's very obvious and anybody that is listening to.
You're not identifying with anything. You're just telling them what pronouns you prefer to be called. Do you have a name? Do you have a name you prefer to be called, or should I just call you dummy?
You can call me Chilo, and you know my name because I answered that question.
Oh, I know your name because you answered that question, so you prefer that I call you your name. Now, can you tell us what do you prefer that they call you? He, she, they, or something else?
I don't care. They can call me whatever they want. That's a fair answer.
I didn't ask you if you don't care. I said, do you want them to call you he, she, they, or something else?
They could call me whatever. I don't care. Like I'm answering the question. I don't care what the pronoun is.
I didn't ask if you cared. I didn't ask if you cared. I said, do you want them to call you he, she, they, or something else? Those are your four options.
How about they call me Chilo? I think that's fair. They can call me Chilo.
You think that a whole chat of 2,500 people, calling you Chilo over and over and over again isn't going to make them all sound like cavemen? Do you know the purpose of pronouns? Do you know why we use them?
I really don't care about the purpose of pronouns.
Why not? It's basic English.
Okay, what's wrong with me saying my pronoun is Chilo? What's wrong with that?
Chilo is not one of the 100 identified pronouns in the English language. That's why.
Oh, can you list the 100 pronouns?
Yeah, I'll list all 110 pronouns in the English language. You ready to go?
No, give me 10. Give me 10.
Sure, I will list 10 of the 111. I'm sorry, it was 111. I'll list you 10 of the 111 pronouns in the English language. There's I, my, myself, no one, none, nothing, one, other, others, our, ours, we, us, he, she, they, it, who, you, your, yours, yourself, them, his, hers.
So why? So my question is, why, for example, is it okay to say nothing, but you're complaining about Chilo, even though Chilo is actually shorter than nothing? Wouldn't it be more obtrusive to type nothing
Chilo,
over and over
because
over
that's
again?
not a pronoun, that's a name.
Okay.
The purpose of pronouns are to replace the name of the noun. Chilo would be the noun.
Yeah. I don't compel speech. So I'm not going to compel someone to identify me as a certain way. People are free to identify me however they wish. And any
great. Chat, just call her she.
I will say
she, her, chat. No, we got it. We got it. She, her. We got it. Don't worry about it. She, her, everybody. This is Chilo.
That's
Me
fine.
and her are going to
I
talk
really don't
about. Me and
care.
her are going to talk about immigration. Now, Chilo. Now that we have that fucking taken care of, Chilo, we are going to be talking about what you said. You said we need to take care of ourselves before others. Now, you vote Republican. Is that true?
That is correct.
Great. Can you point me to a bill Republicans have tried to pass that would benefit the American people at large?
Yes, absolutely. For example, Trump's care account that he passed for children, and he's giving them $1,000 when they're born. And also, there will also be other periodic times. What was that?
They don't get $1,000 when they're born.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they
Matter
don't
of
get access
fact,
to that money when they're born.
That's actually
They don't get access to that money when they're born.
So they don't get access to that money. You're absolutely correct, because it's going to be in a.
Okay, great.
It's going to be it's going to be in an IRA account, and it's going to be able to grow as well. And but to say that they don't get that money is a bold-faced lie.
No, I said they don't get that money when they're born.
Matter of fact, California just passed a law.
Chilo.
Let me finish. California just passed.
Mute. Sorry, shut the fuck up. I said they don't get access to that money when they're born. So please, if I'm going to tell you something, okay, you listen to what I'm saying. Because otherwise we're going to be here all day and it'll just be me muting you to try to clarify what I quite literally already said. So again, when they're born, they don't have access to that money. Now you're unmuted.
Now I'm muted or unmuted?
Now you're unmuted.
Okay. So does that money go into an account in their name, yes or no?
Yes, I never denied that.
Okay, so now that we've established that, and then also California is also taxing them on that and saying, oh, you have to pay taxes on that, which is a whole other issue, and I'm sure that that'll be struck in federally once it gets challenged. But I think that's a great tool. I think that's a great thing, and I think that it's encouraging people to be financially responsible. It's encouraging parents to put money away for their children to save. And I think that most parents, by the way, but we're getting off the topic of what I wanted to talk about, but I think that most parents...
How is this off the topic you want to... I don't care about any of that. Sheila, how much money typically are these children going to see by the end of this account? Like, but when they turn 18, what's the average they're going to see?
Well, you'd have to do the math, depending if every parent only lets $1,000 go in, and then that's it. I would say that you'd have to take 1,000, and then you'd have to do 7.2. Probably, let's say 7% conservatively. You'd have to do the math on that, compounded annually. That would be the return of what they would see years.
Yeah, it'll be valued at $3,380. So the government's giving them $3,000 when they turn 18.
Okay.
That's it.
You know what I got? You know what I got when I turned 18?
That's all.
I got the.
Why would I care what you got? Because I don't care that you have parents that don't love you. I'm not talking about this program specifically.
Right. So you're telling me that an 18-year-old.
I asked you specifically for a policy. I asked you for a policy that would benefit.
I gave you the policy.
Hold on. If you don't interrupt, Chilo, you won't sound stupid talking so soon. If you waited to hear the rest of the question, you wouldn't have sounded dumb right then. I asked you for a policy that benefited most Americans. Some children receiving $3,000 when they turn 18 years from now is not a policy that is benefiting most Americans.
Real quick before we proceed, ma'am, could you back off your mic a little bit? You're just very every time you, ma'am, every time you speak, it literally just rattles and shakes the whole, it sounds really, really horrible. Also, Jovan, have you noticed that the people who, when they're coming to our channel wanting access to our audience, who won't engage in good faith and just say what their pronouns are, that it's a 100% predictor of whether they engage in good faith for the rest of the conversation?
Yeah, why do you think I asked the question?
I was just bringing it up. Apropos,
It's literally
of
the whole. I don't actually care what people's pronouns are. It's the entirety of the reason I asked the question.
So, ma'am, are you good now? Are you going to be able to keep back off the mic enough that it's not going to clip every time you talk?
Well, I'm on a a landline telephone, so I don't know how much more I can get away. Let me.
Right now is better.
Okay, well, I got
It's 2026.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, you sound a little far away, but it's better than the awful. Thank you, ma'am.
I love your facetiousness, by the way.
My what?
Your facetiousness.
That's a big word for a lady.
Yes, because MAGA could never know big
That was
words,
good.
right?
That was
Not
good.
MAGA ladies.
Now, real quick. Let's just. I have a question for you. How is Trump paying for these accounts? Where's the money coming from?
I know.
Well, from my understanding, I've also I've heard that some of it's coming from a private investor that he secured, which I believe is the Hewlett Packard billionaire.
No, it's
he's
Dell.
Also using some of his money.
It's Michael. It's Michael Dell and his wife. By the way, you already failed at the first thing after accusing Jovan of lying. This is not a policy. What policy created this?
I'm not familiar with the actual policy that created it.
Because it isn't
I'm aware
one.
of the creation.
It isn't one. It's just a promise Donald Trump said while talking to Michael. So basically, Michael Dell is contributing money to a thing they're gonna. It's kind of like how that other billionaire who's less terrible but still a billionaire, still terrible. What's the guy from Shark Tank, the one who sucks the least? Mark Cuban. He went and created like an RX program, and now Trump is using government resources to just copy and paste it, but call it Trump RX, even though it's us who paid for it. But he keeps putting our name on the shit he's spending our money on, his name on the shit he's spending our money on. So anyway, you were asked a policy, and you haven't yet given a policy.
I think that, for example, I like the Great Big Beautiful Bill. I like that there's no tax on overtime up to
the bill
level.
that increased our spending and removed our revenue.
Yeah, we said benefits most Americans. That the Big Beautiful Bill benefited rich Americans.
Do deficits benefit most Americans? Does the government running at a deficit, does that benefit us?
The government's been running at a deficit for a long time, my friend. Trump is not the first president to have a deficit.
Can you answer the question I actually asked you?
Matter of fact,
can you answer the question I actually asked you? Is that possible for you, ma'am?
The last president didn't have a deficit was Bill Clinton.
Miss, can you please answer me the question I asked you, which was, our government's running on a deficit good?
Democrats argue yes.
Can
you answer the question I asked you? Like, it's really not that hard.
Yes. And yet the Democrats, it is funny how he says that, apparently not knowing every time the deficit increases under Republicans and decreases under Democrats. Democrats are the ones who every single time decrease deficits. And Donald Trump exploded the deficit. So it's really weird. It's really weird for him to make that point.
I just want to hear. This is a close-ended question. This is a close-ended. Miss. This is a close. Miss. No. But you want him to. You want Jimmy to support it so we can get off of you. Okay, yes, muted. Are you stupid? Did he just say
Obama didn't shrink the deficit? Are you
stupid?
Kidding? Are you against
from Bush?
From Bush? From the Bushes? You fucking idiot. I don't think he knows what shrinks the deficit means. People, if your country spends $5 trillion every year and a new president comes in and he only spends $3 trillion every year, or only takes out $3 trillion of debt every year, do debt. If one president takes out $5 trillion of debt every year and the next president only takes $3 trillion, they're both increasing the total debt, but they are decreasing the deficit.
So I'll just give numbers because I would rather give numbers because it'll just make life easier. So Chilo, ma'am, please don't say anything. Obama went in, inherited from Bush, a $1.41 trillion deficit. He got the deficit down to $585 billion by the time he left office. That's an $825 billion smaller deficit. Did the deficit go up or did it lower when Trump then came in? You can answer now, Chilo.
I'm allowed to talk.
Chilo Green.
Okay, I'm allowed to talk. Okay.
Now you can, Chilo Green.
Actually, no, I'm muting you again. Since you're making a big deal about it and being whiny, you've already shown you don't care about like that. You are actually, we are giving you our audience to access. You won't in good faith just answer because we all know you have a preference in pronouns. You won't. It'd be like if you came into my house and I said, please take off your shoes. And you're like, yeah, but I don't care about taking off my shoes in the house. Well, that doesn't matter. You're in my house, so you abide by the polite things we do here. Anyway, that time I just did it. I muted you again to
Chilo, this is a really easy question to answer. Did Donald Trump increase the deficit that got lowered by Obama? It's a yes or no question. I want to hear a yes or no answer.
How about
Did I say how about? Did I say I want to hear how about? I want a yes or no answer to this question, Sheila. There can only be a yes or no. This is a close-ended question. He either did do it or he didn't. So in his first term, did Donald Trump increase or lower the deficit left by Barack Obama? It's yes, he increased it, or no, he decreased it. What's the answer, Chilo?
I will wait for you to get onto the topic of what I called in for.
Okay, bye.
You think you run this goddamn show, bro?
Chilo, you're good with the call being over then? Because, yeah, you're not in charge. So you're good with the call ending
Well,
here?
that's what I called in for. I called in to talk about illegal immigration.
Great, but you won't answer the question. So why should we care? You haven't engaged in good faith yet.
Jimmy, I got it. Does mass deportation increase or lower the deficit? Chilo.
It probably increases it.
Great, thanks. Thanks for playing. Let's take the next person.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm sad the God guys hung up. We should have taken them. If anybody wants to do a God call and tell us why we should believe in God, there's a little bit of time. We'd probably be able to get your call in. We've got a couple calls right now. So yeah, call in 336-543-2101 and explain to us why we should believe in God. Jericho in Michigan. Jericho, you're on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. Hey, Jericho, we've got 2,000 people watching right now. I actually haven't checked, but I'm sure it's about there. Yeah, 1892, close enough. About 2,000 people watching.
It's more if you count the 600 watching on my page.
Oh, so we got 2,500 people watching, and they are dying to know, Jericho, would you prefer that they refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
I am a biological male.
Right, and would you prefer that they refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
Well, since I'm a biological male, that would indicate he. So
I'm afraid that is not correct, but you did at least choose the pronoun. However, there are people, as you would call a biological male, as opposed, I suppose, to an android male, who do prefer not to be called a he. So especially in a phone format, not a given, it turns out. But we can talk about that another day because you called in. Unless you are dying to learn about trans people. I assumed that you had heard of them before, but it's all good. So Jericho, you're calling in. Jericho, you want to talk about how it is a crime to enter the country illegally, agrees with ICE. Did you know that that's not true?
I know that is in fact true. You cannot.
You believe it is a crime?
Without
are civil violations crimes?
Entering the country illegally is by definition a crime. It's illegal.
It's a civil. It's a civil violation. It's a civil violation.
Port authority.
I don't even want to have this. I don't even want to have this conversation. Why should I care? So what? Whoopee. They came in here illegally.
That's not an argument.
Did I say I was making one? Argument. Did I say I was making an argument? I said I don't care.
Hey, Jericho, what is an argument? Are we going to switch to syllogisms? Do you want to do a purely syllogism-based thing, Jericho? If you're going to condescend,
it seems like
I just want to make sure you know what to
very
do.
unserious about this. But
ready? Here's a syllogism. P1.
So.
P1, I don't care. P2, I don't care. Conclusion, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they enter the country illegally. So fucking what? That means I should just have all this power that they have currently? That means I should be allowed to go after people based on skin color and dialect and accent? I should be allowed to racially you agree with them. ICE doesn't racially profile?
Nope.
You want to bet me $20? You want to bet me $20?
They do
bet me
everything.
$20 right now?
Indeed, yes. Because they do everything beforehand. Hold on.
Whoa. Not true. Untrue. I just want to confirm. And I want to hear in writing that when I prove to you that ICE not only racially profiles, but it's legal for them to do so, as per the Supreme Court, that I will be receiving $20 from you.
The way Jovan always cuts me out of this cash.
No, and it's not illegal.
I'll split it with you. I'll split it with you. Great, wonderful. Nope. I love that you said it's not illegal per the Supreme Court. Can't wait. Here we have the Supreme Court case of the United States, Kristi Noem, Secretary of Department of Homeland Security et al. V. Pedro Vasquez Perdomo et al. This was a Supreme Court decision that happened literally just, what was it? Last year, September? Amazing. A federal district court found that these raids were part of the pattern of conduct by the government that likely violated the Fourth Amendment. Based on the evidence before it, the court held that the government was stopping individuals based solely on 4 factors. That's what the Supreme Court said. They said, oh, well, here's 4 factors, okay, that the Supreme Court that ICE is stopping people on. Those 4 factors being, 1, their apparent race or ethnicity. 2, whether they spoke Spanish or English with an accent. 3, the type of location at which they were found. And 4, the type of job they appeared to work. And guess what the Supreme Court said? Hey, we see that ICE is doing this. We think it's constitutional. Suck my dick, pay me $20.
I said I wasn't going to pay you $20, but...
Okay, then goodbye. Nope. Jimmy, am I crazy, or did he not agree to the bet?
I remember you agreeing to the bet. Are you a welcher?
I'll go back and listen to the tape if I have to.
I was mad because I was getting cut out of the cash.
No, I'll split it with you. 10. Cool. I'll split it with you. Don't worry. But I'm pretty sure I'll play the tape back. Do we need to play the tape back, Jericho? Because I'm pretty sure you agreed to the bet.
No, I didn't. You kind of cut me off. You like to do
need to play the tape? Do I need to play the tape?
He did agree to the bet. Hey, Jericho, so back to the I don't care. Whether or not it's a crime, it's a civil violation or whatever, the whole point of I don't care is you haven't actually established that, 1, it should be illegal. 2, whether or not the problem with the illegal immigrant is the immigrant or the illegal part, that it is in fact the system that is cruel, that it is the system that is shitty, and whether or not the way to handle a person who has either broken a law or made a civil violation is the maximum, essentially the maximum punishment. So in the same way in America, if you speed and I say you deserve to die, the death penalty is what we do in America, and you go, no, it's just speeding. Who gives a fuck? I don't care about speeding. Have a fine. I don't give a shit. No, is it illegal though? Is it illegal to speed? Is it illegal? So we don't give you the maximum penalty or even a harsh penalty for breaking a law or making a civil violation just offhand. It has to meet it. So regardless of civil violation, illegal, whatever the version of the undocumented immigrant you have here, if they've committed no other crime, I don't think we have to do much of anything besides give them a path to citizenship or at least amnesty, at least a working visa, whatever else, unless there are other crimes.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page, Jericho. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. If a lower court rules that ICE cannot stop people based on their race or ethnicity, based on accent, based on location, if a court says you cannot do this, and then the Supreme Court comes in and says, yes, they can, does the Supreme Court now say, yes, they can racially profile?
Yeah, they did not do that.
He literally already showed you that they did. He literally already read to you the case and showed you that he did.
In September
absolutely
2025, the Supreme Court lifted the restriction that was placed by a lower Los Angeles court that said ICE cannot stop people based on race, based on ethnicity, and based on whether they speak an accent. The Supreme Court lifted these restrictions. If you are going to be dishonest, you can go somewhere else. You can
I kind of want to debate like Jericho.
Oh, God.
I kind of want to debate the way Jericho debates. Okay, Jericho, you go ahead and make your point. Make your point. Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, with what you just said, I'll address that first, which is that you don't do the maximum punishment, right? That's
for every crime.
Not how that works.
Yeah,
different
it is.
Crimes in America. No, different crimes in America have different.
Yeah, it is.
Civil liability.
No, that didn't happen.
You're interrupting me.
Yeah, that didn't happen. I'm debating exactly like you, Jericho. This is literally what it's been like talking to you. No, it didn't happen. You were given facts. Jericho, this is the side of us giving up on you because Jovan earlier literally read the case to you, read the conclusion, read like what happened, and you went, that didn't happen.
The abridged version, yes.
That didn't happen.
That
didn't happen. He read to you from the fucking thing, my guy.
The abridged version.
Okay, so what actually? So what actually happened with that court case that he's getting wrong?
What happened is that was the accusation that they were doing that, right?
No.
And
no. The court case wasn't the accusation. The court case was these things happened, and a lower court said it is illegal to do it on this basis. Essentially, it doesn't matter about whether or not actually they did it, what you're calling the accusation.
No, that's not.
The court case, excuse me, yes, I'm going to explain it to you.
Nope.
The court establishes whether or not. So yes, there could be, let's say it's stealing oranges. There could be a group of people stealing oranges and you go, hey, the accusation is these people are stealing oranges from the government or whatever. And the court comes out and says, the is not allowed to steal oranges. So in this case, you are not going to talk over me, you little bitch. Great. I'm going to finish. I don't care if it kills you. Okay. So you are not allowed to, this court is saying you are not allowed to steal oranges, and therefore anybody pursuing a case, whether it's those oranges from that accusation or any that would follow, this court has declared that is illegal. You don't get to do that. Then the Supreme Court came and said, actually you can. So we are aware of this case. We are aware that people were accused of stealing oranges. Let it be known that when they stole oranges and any future people stealing oranges, it is legal in these circumstances to steal oranges. That is what actually happened. Also, that's not a Forrest line. Forrest just keeps stealing lines from people. Someone said, I love that Forrest line. That one's actually a Matt line. Forrest also did not say it's ass flavored first. That's a me line. I'm on with Forrest next show. Make sure you guys ask him a lot why he steals my punchlines and when is he going to do LineCon. All right, Jericho, you're back on.
Yeah. So you like to interrupt a lot. I
Jericho, no, I'm not going to let you talk. I muted you because you interrupted me. I was in the process of doing the orange thing, and before I got to the end, you went, what actually happened in that case? And I said, nope, I'm not done. I'm going to finish, even if it kills you. And you kept talking, and so I muted you. Are you fucking serious right now? Do not pretend. Of course, we are going to interrupt on the show, especially if people are basically abusing the time they're giving, not answering the questions, going off on tangents, because that's what we do for a living. If a person engages in good faith, they tend to get almost too much time to say their shit. Jericho, you have interrupted everybody who has talked to you on this show at some point, and now you're trying to pretend you care about interrupting? Boy, take a look at yourself and make a change. Now you're unmuted again.
Are you guys trolls or something? Like, what's up with this?
Bro, there's no fucking shot. There's no shot.
This is fucking insane. Jericho, did you or did you not interrupt me? Did you or did you not interrupt me?
Let me talk.
Did you or did you not interrupt me when I was doing the orange metaphor?
Yes, I did. Because you
and
kept
then it was
me
the next
constantly.
thing that you did after you interrupted me and I put you on mute to not let you interrupt me. Did you not then complain about me interrupting your interruption?
Can I make my point now? Is my question.
Are you going to admit that
interrupted?
Can you admit that the interruption thing is not a value of yours because you interrupt people?
Hold on. I'm not gonna let anybody make a point because you've already proved you're disingenuous. You've said we've been wrong about the Supreme Court case. No, you don't get to make a fucking point. The Supreme Court case lifted a decision in which a lower court said you cannot racially profile, and you said no, they didn't. So no, you're not an honest interlocutor.
That was not all there was to it. That's the issue.
Was it part of what? Hey, wait, Jericho. Jericho, was it part of what there was to it?
Yes.
Okay, so
and
in fact, so Jericho, in fact, did that case, whether there was more things, address that ICE is allowed to racially profile?
It didn't say that ICE is allowed to racially profile. That's what the case was about originally.
It only said it's not illegal to do so.
That restricted ICE.
What? Oh my God!
Not
what was
hard
it?
to understand. You need to do a little bit of research.
I'm sorry. What in it restricted ICE? Tell me. Be specific.
Sorry.
What in it restricted ICE?
What in it restricted ICE?
Yes.
Probably because the judge said that.
Not probably. Shut the fuck up. I don't want probably. Tell me specifically. I don't want to hear probably. Be specific.
Yeah, that's a manner of speaking. Anyway,
I don't want to hear your manners of speech. Just be specific.
Okay. Shut the fuck up, faggot. I'm done here because you're just.
There we go.
Bye.
Hey, Jericho, before you go, you realize that you just made all of our point for us. You got backed into a corner. You were showed you weren't factual. And then as people are calling in, you're sitting there and you could have won some favor. At the end of the day, make sure this part is included in the clip, babe. At the end of the day, I could understand why the callers would be so frustrating. Jimmy did interrupt a lot. And maybe he was just interrupting to try and get a word in edgewise. And at the end of the day, we're kind of painting the picture that you guys don't have values. And I proved the interruption value you don't have. You just have people you hate. And at the end of this, you decided to go with slurs. By the way, I already know I'm a faggot. I'm a bisexual. You think I haven't heard this word before? Oh no, so scary. Good on you. Clearly, you held back the other slur you wanted to say. At the end of the day, you threw a slur out hatefully, telling us to shut the fuck up after proving you can't actually handle the debate. Any goodwill you would have had where people would have been like, oh man, they are treating him like shit. Now they're going to go, oh, maybe Jimmy and Jovan knew who they were dealing with from the onset. Maybe they knew what kind of guy this was. And at the end of the day, he's not voting for Trump because he thinks the policies are better. He's not actually assessing whether or not actual injustice is happening. Actual problems are happening for immigrants. Actual people are actually being racially profiled. He is voting for the party that empowers him to say, shut the fuck up, faggots, and he will be rewarded. That wasn't me breaking. That was my throat just doing its weird throat thing. And he will be rewarded as some sort of champion of the people, of his people.
By the way, I just want to reframe this, not reframe it. I just want to re-reference this. The literal only things that the judge did in the TRO prohibition was say that they could not rely on race or ethnicity, speaking Spanish or English with an accent, present at particular locations, or the type of work one does to stop someone during an ICE patrol. That's it. That is quite literally the only thing there. And that was what the Supreme Court overruled. So he was about to be on some bullshit anyway, because he was making shit up, because he's never read the fucking original prohibition by the judge. He didn't read that shit. He didn't know any of this.
Bullshit. Bitch.
Because it's literally the only thing. And you know how you know it's the only thing? Because when you look at the Supreme Court decision, you know what it says? I read it to you. The Supreme Court said that it found that this was what the lower courts prohibited. And they said, no, you can't do that. I'm so over fucking dishonest motherfuckers.
I mean, if they'll present it at least in good faith and not just lie to you. He knew he was lying the whole time. He knows he's like
in my chat saying we moved the goalpost. I don't think he knows what moving the goalpost means.
Bro, you don't get to go to chat after you ran away yelling slurs.
You're
a fucking emotional bitch. Like, get your hormones in actual check, dude. Like, you literally
too much. He's just too emotional.
Rage quit. Yeah, you're like, my God. And you owe Jovan $20 as Peary form just passed out.
I want my 20.
Just absolutely wild. Like, it is. You're gonna go to chat and screech in chat when it's literally like, my guy, you gave up. Hey, we've shown time and time again, if you're not the kind of person who's going to come in and resort to not swears, I don't care if you swear, to slurs, and you aren't the kind of person like Jericho is, if you just engage in good faith, you actually answer the questions. Literally, you can go and check the comments of some of these calls where you'll see the timestamps longer. We had a guy who fucking was talking about killing all Muslims. But he came in quote unquote good faith, actually answered the questions and was honest. And the people in the comments are probably right that I let him on for too long. If you just call in good faith,
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, you get good faith back. You get heard out. But if you call in and Jovan reads to you the court case and you go, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Why are you interrupting me right after I interrupted you? So in fact, you're complaining that I interrupted your interruption. I muted you while you were interrupting me. And then you go, are you guys some kind of trolls?
I know this might be petty. I know this
Listen,
might
if
be a
we
little
can very
petty,
quickly get those screened so we can pick between.
But I want to just be a little petty.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read it again. Because I like to be a little petty, okay?
Yeah, I get it.
So it says, and I quote, in the Supreme Court case, which you're all hearing me now, this is Noam v. Perdomo, okay? Where the fuck was the section? Here it is. District court enjoined U.S. immigration. In this case, however, the district court enjoined U.S. immigration officers from making investigative stops in the Los Angeles area when the stops are based on the following factors: presence at particular locations, such as bus stops, car wash, day labor, pickup sites, agricultural sites, and the like, the type of work one does, speaking Spanish or speaking English with an accent, and apparent race or ethnicity. That's what the lower court, the district court, said that they cannot make stops based on. And that's what it's in the Supreme Court case. And the Supreme Court overruled that. Suck my fucking dick.
Yeah. I'm just letting that last one because I feel like that's the last one. It's the one I probably
one of them just hung up.
Wow, he gave up right away. Cameron was going to say, I think illegal immigrants should be deported. I don't. I think people who commit violent crimes, perhaps. Some of them need to be imprisoned here. But I don't believe in deporting quote unquote illegal immigrants. Well, let's see this one that's getting screened here. Dude, I have a non-horny Reddit where I don't let horny stuff on that one. It's just like the one I go and like I'll contribute to like medical subreddits and stuff and just leave comments and shit. And something got so fucked up in my algorithm and I keep getting notifications from Reddit trying to take me to thirst traps when literally that feed is curated to be nothing sexual. It's weird. All right. Jacob in Illinois. Jacob in Illinois, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. How are you, Jacob?
I'm doing good today, just watching a lightning storm outside my house.
That's cool. How old are you?
35.
Cool. And you're calling to talk about the parts of Christianity you believe in. It says, I follow 10 gods. So you don't believe in the monotheistic parts of Christianity, I assume?
No.
Why do you believe gods might exist?
Well, I had some experiences back in February, and I reached out to a god, and I'm doing a lot better now. And
how
I
do you
reached
know
out
that
to
the
other
reason
ones.
you're doing better was a God intervened?
I don't know. I had some physical experiences, and I'm doing better. I've actually got over my depression, and you know, been more.
So if the
engaged
depression
in
comes back,
society.
will that mean that God doesn't exist? Because you know that seasonal depression is a thing, and around February in a lot of parts of the country, a lot of people's depression spikes for the winter.
Oh yeah,
and then February to March, depression for a lot of people comes down.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, so why are we pointing this at God?
If it wasn't for me reaching out to the gods, I was about on the urge of suicide.
But how do you know, again, why is it the gods? If God doesn't exist,
I don't know.
Why?
Yes.
How is it that you got out of it?
I don't know.
Just hypothetically.
Hypothetically. I can't explain it. I just know they exist. I just don't know.
No, you believe they exist.
Why they?
Knowledge is demonstrable. You'd be able to present the facts of God's existence if it was knowledge, and you'd be able to show us. You believe they exist. You don't know they exist. You believe. You recognize that there are gods. Are there any gods you don't believe in? Jacob? I don't know if Jacob meant to. Oh, dang. The thing removed. I was going to hit the call back on it. Let me see if I can.
It's so weird when it decides to remove that and when it doesn't.
I know. It does feel rather random. I don't think he meant to hang up. Where is it that? Oh, it's not like a call back. Hey, Jacob, call right back. What happened there, dude? All I want to know is why. Like, why would like a feeling of God intervening in your life? How is it that you know? He's saying like something. By the way, guys, 3 years ago, I was at like my sickest I've been with my health issues. About that time. And I've now gotten better. And I've also 2 years ago was at my most depressed, and I've now gotten better. I didn't invoke any gods. I didn't turn any gods. At no point did I even do the like, hey God, is there a chance that you're there and maybe like you could I haven't even felt tempted to do that shit that they always say that you're gonna do when you get faced by adversity. And some of the adversity I faced was some fucking intense ass shit, guys. So all I wanted to know from Jacob, and I wish Jacob would come, I'm giving Jacob a minute to call back. Jacob, do call back. Is why is that what you're pointing out? People get better with no natural interactions. And if the Christians are correct, God made me sick in the first place, and yet I'm getting better. So why is God no longer interested in, certain Christians? It's my punishment for talking against him.
Part of the plan.
We're all part. The Antichrist is part of the plan.
Peter Thiel knows about the Antichrist.
I'm Peter Thiel, and I know about the Antichrist. I want to give him another minute because Jacob, I really want to finish our conversation. So I'm bummed you disappeared.
Can't you go see his number in the previous call thing?
Yeah, we'd have to like enter it in. I guess I'm trying to give him a second and then assuming he actually bailed when he realized he wasn't going to succeed very well or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I wish it would put it in the recent ones where it's like if you just hit the make outbound call. I wish it would just be like, here are the people who called, and you could just call them back real quick. It does that when it's in the little screening area, obviously, but not the other one. What's the deal with the other person who's been trying to call in?
I don't know. Are we ever touching on one of the?
Yeah, I guess. He's been waiting for forever.
It's just going to make me angry.
Hey, make sure you all come over to. Will you make sure, dear, that redirect is set up for the show with Forrest and I? All right. Matthew in Kentucky is calling back once again. to this time I think try more inflammatory language when he makes the argument, to once again lecture us on it being wrong for us to tell people that it was a mistake to abstain to vote or vote third party during the 2024 election.
Hi, thanks for taking me. Before we get started, disappointed in you, Jimmy, for not calling out Jovan's use of all of the sudden. You should have corrected him there.
I assume he does it on purpose to annoy me.
What did I do on purpose?
Probably.
I guess you said all of a sudden.
Oh,
I heard a caller say it earlier, and I made a smirk.
Yeah. Anyway, onto the topic. Yeah, basically, like, I mean, it was the comment I made was regarding the 2020 election, and it was under a VOD of you saying like it was a no-brainer to vote for Genocide Joe in 2020. I just disagree because.
Well, clearly, I mean, you disagree so much you're using inflammatory language to try and poison the well. So now I'm going to interrupt you to say the phrase I said was not, it's a no-brainer to vote for Genocide Joe, and you're adding words to it to make me sound shittier when you say it. The thing I would have said is it is a no-brainer that when you have two choices, Joe Biden is clearly the better choice. And that as far as there is a process, the further point that I don't know if I made in that, but as far as there is a process by which we pick candidates that we want people to fall in line to when we eventually succeed, if a leftist challenge happens and we can see that that challenge is also moving that individual, it was actually worth voting for Joe Biden because Joe Biden got pulled to the left by his Bernie challenge and Bernie got more power. So actually, yeah, it was a good idea to vote for Joe Biden. I did not frame it as it is a no-brainer to vote for Genocide Joe. Just to be so fucking clear. So now, Matthew, if you want to try and engage in good faith and not try and poison the well with your recaps of shit I've said to make it, I'm sure the versions of, and I said this will always make you sound very good. And then the versions of my words will include phrases like Genocide Joe. Let's try and bring it down to something a little more good faith. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't saying that you said that word for word, like verbatim.
Do you understand that even if you do understand, though, you are poisoning the well when you use language that is flattering when representing your side and degrading when representing mine? Like it's literally a psychological tactic to automatically make you sound right. If I had accepted the framing, now I'm defending that I said vote for Genocide Joe. You understand that that was bad faith, right?
Yes. I just kind of made it a habit to never refer to him by his official name and never refer to Holocaust Harris by her official name. I always do that, because
what do you call Donald Trump? What do you call Donald Trump?
Yeah, I wish there was a good one, like an alliteration like those two. Someone said Doomsday Dawn. I think that's pretty good, but I think you need to start
someone
talking
kind
more
of
about
not to have an alliteration related to genocide like that. Kind of dickish. Anyway, Matthew, what's your point?
Anyway, so I think that he would have been pushed further left if we voted for Howie Hawkins, if we voted for PSL, the Gloria La Riva.
That sounds great. And so he would have been pushed further left and not been the president. But in his private life, he would have been pushed further to the left, probably.
No, he was going to win regardless. He was polling much better than Hillary was, much, much better. It was obvious.
When are you talking? Wait. What year are you talking about?
He's talking 2020.
Okay. I primaried for Bernie.
Yeah, me too. I voted for him.
But if you're saying during the general election, he was going to win no matter what based on the polling, holy fucking shit, you're bad at this, Matthew. You should not base on the polling anything. Based on the polling, Donald Trump has never won the election. You know what he's done twice now? Won the election. That's a horrible and not worth the risk of going, I have the confidence that Joe Biden is so beloved, I'm not going to participate in locking that shit in. And I was in Colorado in 2020, which that year was still a swing state. And by the way you put it to the notes, You were basically saying the safe states thing is a point you wanted to make, that in safe states they shouldn't have. So first things first, do you believe in unsafe states they should have voted for Joe and Harris?
In 2020, like I said, like the polling was so much better than Hillary that even in swing states it didn't matter. But of course, in 2024, swing state voters and even leading state voters should have voted for Holocaust Harris.
So you are saying that swing state voters should or should not have? I couldn't, the way you were saying it fast.
They should have, yes.
Okay, so to be clear, and using your own phrasing, you do in some conditions believe people should have voted for Holocaust Harris, as you call it, to condemn us voting for Genocide Joe. I just want to make sure that we're equalizing the whole platform here. Now, again, you're saying based on the polling, and that's a really dumb thing to go off of, and it's not worth the risk. And you going, I think he would have been pushed further to the left. I don't. He was pushed further to the left because of the popularity of the sentiment and the challenge to his chances, how serious it was. None of the people you listed were a serious challenge to him as an actual could become the president. The only person who's ever gotten any kind of power in that direction is like Jill Stein, who wanted to be a spoiler candidate, who I have a lot of resentment for. So I'm not going to tell people to go vote for Jill Stein when her motivations and what she benefits, there's a whole lot to be very wary of.
Okay, but that resentment is good. Like I wish that Jill Stein got enough votes in 2024 to get the wrath of the libs again. Even though she's getting it now, even though there wasn't enough to make a difference. But that is what gets libs to want ranked choice voting. They will not want ranked choice voting if they don't.
So you're an accelerationist. You're literally an accelerationist then. You want votes that do not have the potential to make massive systemic change and further make if we lose, further get us away from our constitutional protections. You want things that potentially put shit at risk and spoil more elections because you believe how bad things will get will accelerate libs' desire to get meaningful change. You're an accelerationist. This doesn't work.
No, I wanted Trump to lose in 2024. That's why I donated $81 to her opponent, to Harris's campaign. Because I live in a safe state, so I didn't vote for her, but I donated to her campaign.
Okay.
Yeah,
but you wanted a bigger upset, not knowing that it was actually zero risk, just citing the polls. When the last presidential election we had, prior to that, the polls were why people went into that night going like, literally, we were already smugly celebrating that Donald Trump was going to lose at the beginning of the night of the Hillary Clinton versus Trump thing. The polls were fucking wrong. And you want to say that you wish there had been more of an upset to make people mad. Why would anybody have been mad if he won anyway? If he wins, nobody thinks about that shit.
My point is that Joe, he was polling much better than Hillary was. Like, it was
polling doesn't matter.
Wait, Matthew, can I just ask you a question? Matthew, can I just ask you a question? Genuine question. Do you believe, either at home, domestically, or internationally, that people in the world are better off if the head of the United States, the largest imperial power in the world, is headed by Donald Trump or by Kamala Harris?
Harris.
Okay.
So I donated to her.
Did you in that time, right, in the time frame of the last election, try to convince anyone not to vote for Harris?
Just safe state voters. I tried to convince swing state voters to vote for her.
Safe states, you mean like New York, which is always going to vote blue and yada yada? Yeah,
in Kentucky, safe red, safe blue, doesn't matter. They're going to go one way or the other, period.
So then I'm not sure what we have a serious disagreement on, because like I also don't think that any of those voters ruined, like any safe state voter swayed the election, right? Like I'm in Florida,
They almost certainly
matter.
did. They almost certainly did participate.
No, I'm talking about in states like I'm in Florida. It doesn't matter who I'm voting for. We're our electorates. How did you tell people to vote for Congress and Senate seats?
I say vote as far left as you can down ballot. Like, and that's the thing.
Okay.
I want leftists to go out to vote green, to vote PSL, to even leave the POTUS space blank, just so they can vote for the down ballot races that actually matter, especially in safe states. Like those are the only races that matter in safe states. So
hey,
if
Matthew,
you encourage leftists,
if more people in safe states had participated and said, hey, even though I'm in a safe state, I'm voting for Harris because the primary is the time to protest vote. I'm voting for Harris to participate in a culture where we put our vote down and we say the stakes are too high and I'm voting for Harris in the safe state. Do you believe that if more people did that, that would have increased the number of votes for Harris in unsafe states?
I mean, sure, like if you're just being general,
okay,
and do not distinguish it.
No, Matthew, that's literally it. If you believe there is a cultural influence, that if we had a better, even in the safe states, it doesn't matter that the state is safe. It actually matters that we participate in a culture that everyone needs to go and make this vote because Donald Trump is too big of a threat. You just saying sure is all I need to hear. If that culture would have made a difference and more people in unsafe states would have voted, the opposite is already also true. By participating even in a safe state, I'm not going to vote for Harris. That means less votes were casted for Harris in unsafe states because of that culture existing. And so the universal culture of the day of the election is here. Everybody go do your part and vote for one of the two people who you actually have an opportunity to get in and participate in that culture that leads to that vote. By your own concession, less votes happened because of the culture of safe state voting.
Okay, but I'm more concerned with leftists, people who distinguish themselves from libs, who because the reason Harris lost was because of the people who stayed home, not because of the people who voted for Stein or PSL or whatever. It's
I'm
because
sorry.
people stayed home.
The answer is both.
Yeah,
the people who didn't vote
home,
for Harris,
sure.
the people who voted third party should have voted. The leftists should have voted for Harris, and we should have added numbers of people who didn't. The real reason why, honestly, if we're going to go down to one reason why, is because we didn't have a primary. That's the reason why. I blame the DNC the most, but there are lots of people that are at fault for her losing, and included that are abstainers and third-party voters and people who participated in any culture besides, we cannot afford Donald Trump. The genocides that are happening are terrible. The additional genocides that will happen under Trump will be worse. We can't, because Donald Trump will be able to undermine the Constitution and implement his Project 2025 in a way that in the future, we may go from leftists may not have much of a shot for a long time to leftists now just don't have a shot. The authoritarian regime of Donald Trump was not worth it. And we also can talk all day long about why Harris lost. We won't actually ever be able to know if she would have won with another strategy. I think without a primary, she probably would have lost anyway, even if she tried to swing left instead of swinging right. Even if she tried to swing anti-Gaza. I actually think she probably would have gotten or anti-genocide in Gaza. I actually believe that she probably would have done worse had she come out against the war, despite the fact I am against the war, despite the fact that lines up with me. But we'll never know. These are suspicions based on how fucking shit this country is and how much more money. I mean, how much more money would an anti-Zionist candidate have pushed against them compared to them? We're talking magnitudes of billions and billions and billions of more dollars flooding in if an anti-Zionist was actually on the ticket. And money, unfortunately, does win elections.
Yeah, but they're diminishing returns with that, though.
Yep. And so if you put a shit ton more money, The diminishing returns can still put you over the top. And what we know is Trump was capable of winning, and Trump's had the populists' ear again. So once again, we can list all the reasons why she lost all day long, but we can't say just because she lost with those tactics, the opposite tactics would have worked.
I understand. But yeah, I agree with you that of course we needed a primary. It's ridiculous that Genocide Joe just stayed in way longer than he needed to, and just made a fool of himself.
After lying and saying he wouldn't do that. I got to go to the other show. So last thoughts here, Matthew.
Yeah, I just think that we should threaten the DNC, say like we will vote green if you don't do AOC. Like Greasy Gavin cannot win. Like we cannot let him win.
If Jill Stein, first of all, I've already said if Gavin Newsom's on the ticket, I will be going for Gavin Newsom. We need a hard ass primary challenge to where what happened to Biden with Bernie happens to Gavin with whoever. But it's probably going to be Gavin, and we're probably all voting for Gavin. And I hope you do too in 2028. It's just the unfortunate reality. But the quality of the Gavin doesn't have to be what we have today. All right. We got to go, Matthew.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. What? I'm just going to disconnect. You do the outros and say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
So I got to get on the other one.
Yeah. All right, squad. That's it for Jimmy. You go ahead over now to the line so you guys can go watch the late show with Jimmy and Forrest. Thanks for watching this one. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And we will see you all later.